Hi, hello, greetings, hello. Okay, audio check's done. The audio's good. The microphone's not sabotaging me, it's not warbling my voice. Alright, so welcome. This is the last live stream I'm doing for 2025. And this is the last time I'm going to be turning on Spotify for 2025. Got my playlist. Alright, so let me fill you in on what's happening. To celebrate the end of the year, hi, hello, Taoist. My first full year of live streaming was 2025. Although, congratulations,
Hello,
you're
Taoist is
first.
first.
You're first. Congratulations, Hellenic Taoist. What was I saying? Anyway, so to commemorate the first full year of live streams that I've done, and the little bit of 2024 that I started in, I'm going to be ranking all the stuff I played in that time. Every single one of the games that I did a playthrough of. Most, if not all of them, are here. They're all represented by the thumbnails that I made for them. Yeah. I figured it'd be a good way to cap off the year. So, here's my criteria for this tier list. It had to be a game that I played through, or at least partially played through. So, like, games that I did level design in, or games that I designed myself, do not count on this tier list. So, there's no Mario Maker 2 and no Halo Infinite, because I only did Forge levels in that one so far. And obviously art streams don't count, because those are work streams. So I'm going to be going through them in mostly chronological order. This is just the order that they were in on my thumbnails folder. So I've got 5 tiers. I've got loved it, which means I loved playing it and I loved live streaming it. Pretty good, which means I enjoyed playing it, but maybe the live stream could have been better or more enjoyable. Alright is... Yo, it's alright. Not bad, but not great. Not the greatest is either games that... Well, the games themselves could be not that great, but I guess, like, the experience of live streaming them maybe aren't pleasant. So they're not necessarily bad games, but they're like games that maybe I didn't enjoy streaming very much. And then Never Again is games I never want to touch again, live streaming or otherwise. Unless they have significant changes, of course. Alright, so... this will be my thoughts about the game themselves and my own experience live streaming them. So that's the criteria. This is personal criteria. Yeah, it's not necessarily a ranking of the games themselves. But it's my own personal opinion and my own personal experience live streaming them. So anyway, let's begin. The first one is Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. This is the first game I ever live streamed on the channel. It was only on YouTube, because I wasn't streaming on Twitch at the time. Foolishly, I was not very keen on live streaming on Twitch, even though I used to do it before I became a VTuber. I was like, oh, live streaming only on YouTube, that's gotta be the strat, because the VODs last forever, and that's pretty much the only justification I can think of. Oh, and like the community posts too. I really enjoyed this game, but the performance, like I was still live streaming from my old tablet back then, so the capturing for Blueaizu, for my model, it wasn't that great. It was very choppy actually, so it was kind of an awkward period for me. This was the live stream that made me decide that I had to move all my entertainment stuff from the living room into my bedroom, where my PC is. I did really enjoy the game. It was such a good experience. Like, Kirby's always a good time for me. So either pretty good or loved it. I think pretty good, because of the performance issues that I had. This one was 2 episodes long, I remember. No, like 3 maybe? I like split the main story between 2 live streams for the main campaign, and then the Megalore epilogue got its own live stream, which I think the thumbnail for is pretty funny. Like, that's pretty much what set the trend for me, kind of editing the graphics to be a little silly for the thumbnail, instead of me just, like, taking the cover art for a game and then just putting myself over it. Like, I try to give it a bit of character. Like the one with Megalore, which isn't pictured here. It was like the official art of him with his hand over his eyes, like he's looking to the sun with like white raggedy clothes, like they're bleached. And then I edited it so it looked like he was putting his hand on my shoulder. Yeah, good memories. So it's pretty good. Pretty good. A bit of a rocky start with the model, because it was very poor performance on the old tablet. So that was the impetus for streaming on my PC and then trying to get a better PC for all that time. Next is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. It's one of my favorite games. It's one of my most cherished childhood games. The one on the GameCube. And I was over the moon when they announced a Switch remake for the game. Like, I remember going nuts when it was announced. And then I pre-ordered it without a second thought. And then I played it, and then I loved playing it. If it was just the game itself, I would probably put loved it, but in my experience live streaming it, there's a ton of dialogue, like a ton of dialogue. So I was like giving all the characters voices and stuff, and I was like reading pages of dialogue from the characters, and it's very well written, but it got a little exhausting after a while, I'll admit. So I'm putting Paper Mario in the alright tier. It's a great game. One of the GameCube's best, and one of the Switch's best by proxy, because of the remake. It's a game I wouldn't mind playing more on the channel, but yeah, it's a lot of reading. I enjoy the gameplay, but there's just so much dialogue I have to go through in that. It made it hard to interact with like the audience whenever they were talking to me. Because I can't just skip the dialogue, because it's a role-playing game. I have to read the dialogue for the story to make sense. I think The Thousand-Year Door is what made me have a bit more of a preference for, like, story-heavy games having voice acting, so that I could personally react to the game instead of me just reading everything and then sprinkling my thoughts in intermittently. Well, 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 that guy game. What's up? Oh, I forgot to put the YouTube chat specifically on the monitor. Hold on. I have the mixed chat on the monitor. I just gotta have the YouTube chat specifically in its own window. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I put Thousand-Year Door in the alright tier. Great game, but maybe not the best game for live streaming if you're not a speedrunner. You have changed a bit, that guy game. You're no longer a cat guy, but now you're a that guy with a game. Yes, indeedy. You know what? I think after this live stream, I'm gonna put like a separate window for the YouTube chat. Twitch only says I can't do a mixed chat. They didn't say I can't have 2 chats. But where am I gonna put the second chat? I'm gonna have to make a new layout. Well, I'll worry about that later. Anyway, next game, Nightmare Kart. So Nightmare Kart is an indie game. It started life as a fan game for Bloodborne called Bloodborne Kart. I think it's free on Steam, and it's pretty good. Wherever I desire, yes, yes, yes. I desire everybody's voice to be seen on the chat. Because right now I only have Twitch chat appear on the actual live stream. Yeah, I just think it's kind of making it easier for everybody if I have both chats on the stream in the future. So Nightmare Kart, it's a really fun game. It's pretty challenging, which is befitting for a game that's inspired by Bloodborne, which I will get to later, because I did play that too. Halo is solid. It is indeed. I'll talk about that when I get to it. But Nightmare Cart, it goes in the pretty good tier because I think at the time that might have been my very first vertical live stream. I think I tried live streaming it before. Like, it was one of my first live streams. But for some reason, something messed it up. Like, there was something that glitched out, or, like, I was muted, or the game was muted. One of those things. But then, that made me not very happy with the original live stream. So actually, the Nightmare Cart live stream that's still on my YouTube channel, as a VOD, that's actually the second time I live streamed it. It's a really short game though, so it wasn't a big deal. I wanted it to be a Halloween special at first, but I don't remember exactly when I did the second Nightmare Cart live stream, because, I don't know, I might have just wanted to try and salvage the thumbnail I made for it. Oh, and if you look closely, you can see the Mario Kart banana peels. As like a little cheeky nod to it being a kart racer. So yeah, anyway, Nightmare Cart, really fun. Very fun PS1 inspired game that's tangentially Bloodborne themed, if you're into that game. So now Halo Combat Evolved. It's a great game, I love it. It's one of my favorite shooters ever made. This one was also a vertical live stream that was on my YouTube, but only YouTube. So technically, I never live streamed Combat Evolved on Twitch. Yes. It's only on YouTube. People seem to love this. People seem to really enjoy it, because they appreciated the love that Halo was getting. I think any Halo love now these days is very desperately needed. I played through the single-player campaign of this, and it was great. I did it on normal mode, which I think is probably the most fair difficulty to do it on. I'm still trying to get better at heroic, but the cover of night is really tough. I get headshotted instantly in that one, so I don't get very far into heroic. I'm not even going to touch legendary until I can finish heroic. But yeah, the campaign, it's amazing. It's one of the best shooters ever made. And this was a really fun live stream to do. I played this before I got my original Xbox, so I was playing it on my 360 via backwards compatibility. And to this day, it's stuck inside, because even then I was having trouble getting the disk drive open. And now it's just jammed shut forever, so it's like stuck in there forever now. It's been stuck ever since this live stream. I contemplate getting yet another copy if I can find one for cheap, but that seems a little silly. Maybe I should spend the money on other games. Oh, and in the live stream immediately after this one, I remember testing out my Series X capture. I wasn't doing Halo 1 multiplayer specifically. It was like whatever Master Chief Collection decided to bring up. Yeah, I had some people come in and talk to me then. They were like, oh, why not play it on PC? And I'm like, my PC's not powerful enough, so I'm capturing it from console. I want to see if that works. Interesting experience. Before I got this new PC, I did all of my gaming live streams from console to save processing power on my PC, because most of it was being taken up by the VTubing software. Oh, Castlevania. Castlevania. Rondo of Blood. This game was really, really tough. I remember being so frustrated by this one. It's a really good polished game, but it's so difficult. It's so hard, man. This is one I'm really not so proud of as a live stream. If I go back to this one, it might be easier since I know all the tricks that it tries to pull. Don't even know what Castlevania is. I'll explain. Castlevania is... It's a traditional platforming game. There's a focus on more methodical platforming. You move a bit more slower. You pick up items that act as the power-ups. The movement's clunky, but in a way that's kind of intentional. So that's where a lot of the challenge for Castlevania comes from. At least the older ones, like Rondo of Blood. There's an easier mode where you play as Maria Renard, and she's a little girl who has a double jump, can move around in midair, and she attacks with ranged attacks that animals do. So it's a bit of an easy mode. But for this one, I played as Richter the whole time. Except for one small part of the one level. Your cars want to say... Rah, rah, rah. Oh, cat! Oh, your cat typed on the keyboard, huh? It might not appear in the chat, though, because I think I've got protection for that kind of thing. I see it on the multi-chat, though. I saw your cat typed. But yeah, Castlevania Rondo of Blood. Good game. Very good game. But it's very hard, so I got very frustrated at it, and I was like screaming at it for like 5 hours. So, not my proudest moment. Visions of Mana? Well, this isn't the full game, this is a demo. For when it was still coming out. I had a good time with it, it was alright. Am I ready for 2026? I think as soon as this tier list is done, and then I finish playing Kirby Air Riders Road Trip later, I think that's when I'll be ready for 2026. Oh, and I gotta eat the spaghetti and meatballs my family's preparing for New Year's. Then I'll be ready. Oh, then I gotta drink the sparkling apple cider too. My brother got it for me. My big brother. Modern Warfare? Oh, Modern Warfare 3. Well, let me talk about Visions of Mana first. This was a demo of Visions of Mana. I played it on the Xbox Series X. It was a fun time. It's like a traditional JRPG, but with like a modern presentation. So it was kind of very old school in its structure, in its gameplay project. What's the word? Gameplay structure, I'll say. But you could like do parkour on the houses and stuff, like in a more modern game. It kind of makes it feel more grand, more vast than it actually is, because of its heritage. I think it was an action RPG too, so I enjoyed it, but as much as I liked it, I never ended up getting the full game. But I enjoyed my time with the demo. Modern Warfare 3? I actually don't remember that much about it. I think I had it on Game Pass, so I like wanted to try playing it for a live stream to see how it would go, and I had a pretty alright time with it. I know not a lot of people like Modern Warfare 3. It's like kind of a... You have to head to the movie theater with your family. Oh, nice. What movie are you seeing? Out of curiosity. Whatever it is, I hope you enjoy it. You don't really hear about people going to movie theaters much nowadays, because everybody streams stuff instead. So let me talk about what I remember about Modern Warfare 3. The reboot. I did not play the story. I played the multiplayer, and that's written in the thumbnail. I wanted to try it on Xbox, because I had Game Pass at the time. And I remember reasonably enjoying it. I can't really say much else about it, because I don't remember. I've played so many shooters, it's hard to remember all of them. Especially Call of Duty, where the games kind of blend together, because there's so many of them. But the shooting felt good, the multiplayer was fun. I didn't win every round, but I think I did pretty good in the ones I was in. Yeah, it was a different experience. But I don't think it did very good. It didn't have good reception, because it was pretty different from the stuff I'd normally play. And like the Call of Duty streamers, they're like... The people who stream Call of Duty tend to only play Call of Duty. So... I don't know how that would have translated to them being interested in me. And the games I play. And Aero GPX. This was one that's pretty good. I actually backed this game on Kickstarter. It's an indie game. It's inspired by F-Zero X, specifically. And it's a really fun game. It's the closest thing that was ever made to a new F-Zero. Like, it's dead on. It feels remarkably close to how F-Zero X played, and it's like a more modern version of that. But there's also airstreams that you could fly around in, so it's like a little bit of Star Fox mixed in too. You could fly in any direction in those wind gusts, as long as you were within the barriers of the wind. And then you could do tricks where you could flip your car around, and then when you landed, you got a burst of speed for the longer you did it, and then that added even more speed. And then the health and the boost were actually two separate meters. So you could boost constantly and not have to worry about dying because the health was separate from the boosting power. I really enjoyed playing it. It was kind of hard to think about stuff to talk about because I was so focused on playing it. I haven't touched it since then though, for some reason. Maybe because I wanted to wait till I live stream it again. But then, I guess, it never popped up again. Not a bad game, far from it. It's just... I guess I got a little sidetracked. Black Ops 6 Beta. This one was also pretty good. I played this one on the PS... No, I bought the final game on the PlayStation 5. And then I played the beta on the Xbox, because... The first closed beta was only available on Xbox, because... I think Microsoft just bought Activision at the time, so they were making it a perk for their most loyal consumers, aka people with an Xbox, and Game Pass Ultimate, aka me, at the time. And so I played this, and then this is kind of what made me start getting me won over to Black Ops 6. Which is very unfortunate, because I ended up hating the final game. Because... Alright, I can't talk over music with lyrics in it. Hard to focus. So, my problem with the final game for Black Ops 6 is that... Basically, they took the game, which I really liked, and they added, like... What's it called? Flick stick. The PlayStation has flick stick controls, where you can use the right stick to turn around as fast as you can, horizontally, and then you use the gyroscope to look up and down. And then that's kind of the closest thing that there is to keyboard and mouse controls on a controller. And I really appreciated that they did that for the PlayStation version of Black Ops 6, so that's where I ended up getting the game. But the skill-based matchmaking, engagement-based matchmaking, whatever it's called, it ended up putting me in tons of unwinnable games where I was the highest performing player in the whole round and it still wasn't good enough. Because it put me on a team full of rookies while the other team was full of super coordinated players. And some of them made fun of me without voice chat. Like, I distinctly remember one of those rounds where I put in tons of work. I got the most kills in the game, I got the most points in the game. But we still lost. Then the round ended with the other guy in front of me. And then he just looked left and right like he was shaking his head. And I was like, oh, you son of a bitch. But when I played the beta, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I really miss Black Ops 2. I miss the vibe of that game. I miss the maps of that game. I miss the weapons. Just pretty much everything about it. I can't just go back and play it because it's infested with hackers nowadays. Like, it's unrecognizable to how it was in 2012. So I figured Black Ops 6 would be the next best thing, and that's what I thought at the time. So I'm judging it based on that. Oh man, an ad. It was alright. I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't go back and play it. In fact, I haven't gone back and played it. I swore off of it forever. I haven't played another Call of Duty since then. Not even the old ones. Well, actually, that's not true. I played Black Ops 2, but I'll get to that eventually. Might be a while. So anyway, F-Zero-X. This is actually one of the games where I used it to test my VTuber model when I was still making it. I remember being pretty good. Pretty good game. Pretty good game. I was like basically gushing over the completed save file that I had where I beat Master Mode on the Nintendo 64. At least that's what I remember. Yeah, pretty much I just spent the whole time gushing about it, and then playing through all the levels. I don't think I got first place even once. But I already unlocked all the cups, so I didn't really care. I just wanted to show all the racetracks. And the X Cup, where it's randomly generated tracks. So, technically, there were infinite racetracks that you could race on. But just like generative AI nowadays with art, it's never, ever, ever as good as when a human makes it, so it was less deliberate. And some of them actually were death traps. Like, they had turns where they were super hairpin while going up. And then, like, half of the racers got flung off. And then in the final lap, you were the last person there, so you could just take your time and then finish the race then. It's very rare for the X Cup to be good. Astrobot. What am I gonna do for 3 minutes while I'm waiting for everyone to come back? I'll just drink the seltzer for 3 minutes. Drinking the seltzer. Maybe I'll just keep going. I don't know. I'd hate to leave Twitch out of the fun. The fun of me ranking this, but I've got a lot to go through, so maybe I'll just keep going. So, Astrobot's next. Astrobot's a fantastic game. Fantastic game. I loved live streaming it. I think about going back to it constantly, because they added free DLC levels to the game. So I'd think about live streaming those. But then that would involve hooking the PlayStation 5 back up, and the PS5 doesn't really... It really doesn't cooperate. It's such a diva. It doesn't play nice with my capture card. Whenever I put it in my USB switcher hub, it refuses to boot up when the capture card's inside. PlayStation 3 I got secondhand does the same thing. But I found a way around it with, like, the composite cable adapter for the HDMI that I could plug into the HDMI hub. And then that's how I stream the PlayStation 3. But PlayStation 5 does not have that, so it's a bit more challenging to stream PlayStation 5 games. And that's also part of why I don't play it more often. But Astrobot, it was worth going through all the trouble for that game. If Nintendo has Mario, then Sony PlayStation has Astrobot. It's that good. You could compare it to Nintendo's best. It reminded me of the games I used to play. Well, I still play them, but you know. It's like a modern classic. The PlayStation 5 really doesn't have a lot of exclusive games that I point to as must-buys, but Astrobot is always my instant answer. And it's also my only instant answer. I truly cannot think of anything else that's specifically only on the PlayStation 5 that you absolutely have to buy a PlayStation 5 for. And I really enjoyed live streaming it too. There were parts where it kind of slowed down because I had to, I don't know, stop and eat or something. But yeah. Astrobot, great game. Highly recommend it. If you can find it on... Actually, just play Astrobot, it's good. If you have a PlayStation 5, which I know a lot of people do, just play it. Just play Astrobot. It's a great game. Great live stream too. In my personal opinion. So Undertale. Undertale's what people are calling a modern classic. I love Undertale. I love it so much. It's a fantastic game. One of the best. It may not look like much. It may look like just another pixel indie game. But the way that it presents its ideas and the way that it kinda does things. I don't know. I love Undertale 2, Helnoic Taoist. Like, I remember when Undertale first came out, and I was still in university at the time. One of my friends, he brought in Undertale, and he played it on the Animation Lab's projector, and then he showed us stuff from the game. Like, he showed us the fight against Toriel, and how to spare her. But then when I was, like, looking stuff up about it later, I found out that you didn't have to kill any monsters. And then that kind of changed the underground monsters' attitudes towards you. So, like, all the monsters had relationships with each other and you. And then depending on your actions and who you killed and spared, their reaction to you would be different. So that made the world feel alive. It's compact. It's a compact game. It's small, but it's so densely packed with detail. And I admire it for that. It's also one of the few RPGs that hold my attention the whole time, and that's very rare. The thing that sticks out to me most about Undertale, the thing I remember best, besides the music, is Flowey. The way that he's savvy to what you do. Like, if you kill Toriel, and then you reset your save and then go back to spare her, Flowey's like, oh, I know what you did. You murdered her. And then you went back because you regretted it. And chances are, unless you know what you're doing specifically, you'll be, like, freaked out because the game's calling you out on it. Like, it's calling you out on reloading your last save. Because chances are you did regret killing her. So you did go back, and then you did spare her. And then the game just makes fun of you for doing that. I think that was the moment I realized Undertale was something truly special. Because who would think to do that? What person making a game would think to do that? I mean, a lot of games that came after Undertale did put that kind of detail into their games, where it's like super meta, but I can't really think of a game that did it before Undertale. Incidentally, the way that Undertale did that is interesting. It's something I learned. In Game Maker, there's .ini files. They can make little lightweight save files stuff where it keeps track of that stuff. Hoi, I'm Temmie! Temmie. Yeah, Temmie's great. Temmie's also a real person. Did you know that? She's one of the artists that worked on Undertale. So anyway, the .ini file, that's actually... Undertale uses those extensively to keep track of what you did, even if you don't save the game. And then it keeps track of that kind of stuff behind the scenes, and then that's kind of the heart of all the meta stuff that it does. Like all the different dialogue if you do a second neutral run. The dialogue where Flowey calls you out for killing Toriel the first time and then reloading the save. It's actually the same kind of file that I use for Clip Idol, my own game. That's how Clip Idol saves your high score. The .ini files. And I owe it to Undertale for teaching me how to use those files. And of course, it was one of my longest live streams. Both of them. Like, Undertale, I played it for like 5, maybe almost 6 hours straight. So everything that I ever did in Undertale was in that one 6-hour long live stream. Like, it takes something truly special to make me play it for 6 hours straight. And then there were like 2 to 3 more hours of the pacifist run. And it's also kind of brilliant how it gets around having autosave, but giving each save point a unique flavor text. Yeah! Yeah, that's like, the spaghetti that Papyrus put out for the mouse gives you determination. And the sound of the waterfall crashing down gives you determination. And then if you're doing a No Mercy run, where you kill all the monsters in the underground, it changes into a counter for the monsters you still have to actually defeat. So I think it's really cool that the way Undertale's a small game, but it's a compact game. It's densely packed. Pokemon Coliseum. I have to tell you something now. I'm not a fan of Pokemon. I used to love it. I have all the games up to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but no. Going back to it, I find Pokemon very frustrating. Even at its best, like Pokemon RPGs, like how much luck they involve. All the stuff that's decided on luck, it's frustrating to me. I mean, the story for Pokemon Coliseum, it's probably one of the most interesting to be featured in a Pokemon RPG. That's not a fan game. But overall, the more I played it, and I did enjoy it at first, but over time I got more and more soured on it. And I'm like, oh, I'm starting to remember why I don't like Pokemon. Like, it just turned into me complaining about Pokemon, and I'm like, I don't think anyone wants to watch me do this. So I just kind of stopped doing it. But I did stop playing Pokemon completely, because I did do one more Pokemon livestream. And so Portal. Portal. Where would I put Portal? Portal's one of my favorite games ever. It's one of the best Portal puzzle games ever made. It's one of the games that I point to that's not violent. Another classic, yeah, totally. I actually played Portal on the Switch version. I have it on PC, but again, I played all of my games on console at the time to save on processing power on the PC. It's between pretty good and loved it for me, because I love Portal. I'll happily play it any day. I don't remember exactly if the live stream for it went well. Like, it was alright. The game itself is amazing, but I feel like a lot of people have played Portal, so I'm not sure what I had to add to the mix. Unless you count me showing off the Switch version of the game. Yeah, pretty good, just because I can't really remember anything that stood out to me when I was actually live streaming it. Kingdom Hearts. This is another all-time favorite game of mine. Loved it. I loved every second of... well, almost every second of playing it on live stream. This was probably my first really, really long series, Kingdom Hearts. Because it's one of my favorite... That's the one where you found me. Yeah! I remember that. I was on YouTube. I forgot if I was streaming on Twitch yet. I think Kingdom Hearts, like the middle of that game, that might have been the first one where I played on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1. It's one of my all-time favorite games. It's very formative to me. I loved Disney when I was younger. And then Kingdom Hearts is how I learned about Final Fantasy. And then eventually I started loving both. Lately, Disney has fallen straight off a cliff for me lately. So I don't really care for Disney that much nowadays. It's mostly just fond memories of, like, Mickey Mouse and Friends. Oh, the 2013 Mickey cartoons are good, though. They're funny. They remind me of Ren and Stimpy, of all things. But yeah. This is the first time I've ever played the final mix version of the game, so some of it was a new experience for me. I loved it enough to get Sora to level 100 off stream. Then I kicked Sephiroth's butt at the end. Like, demolished him like, in one try. Granted, I already had his attack patterns memorized from a long time ago, for when I played it on the PlayStation 2. But when I revisited the final mix version on PS5, I guess I subconsciously remembered everything Sephiroth could do. And then that mixed with my attack build, with me being at level 100, Sephiroth, like, he didn't stand a chance. Oh, the rest of the game was good too. I enjoyed the exploration and the combat. The exploration is something that most Kingdom Hearts games, they don't really... They focus more on combat, and, like, the worlds are just Disney-themed window dressing, pretty much. But Kingdom Hearts 1, it felt like the Disney stuff actually mattered and tied into the plot more. Like, they really, really wanted Disney to be a part of the game. But from Chain of Memories onward, it's like they kind of did it because they had to. Trace and the Lost Demon. This is a bit more of an obscure game. It's part of the Bayonetta series. I'm gonna put it in alright. Because it's got unique gameplay. It's got... I love the graphics. I love the storybook graphics. I love Cheshire's design. He's like super hardcore, based on the Cheshire Cat naturally. And then Cereza, who is Bayonetta when she's younger. She's like so sweet. Like you wouldn't. In Bayonetta, like the actual Bayonetta series, Bayonetta's like a really tall witch in spandex, and the spandex is made of her own hair, and she like summons hair demons, and the hair is made of her hair, and she like gets naked to do it, and it's like so over the top that it loops into being ridiculous. But Cereza in the Lost Demo is nothing like that. It's like a top-down Zelda-type game where you control two characters at once. You control Cereza with the left stick and then Cheshire with the right stick. And you gotta keep track of both characters at once, and the puzzle solving is based on that. It's a very interesting game. It's good. I don't think it's like a system seller for the Switch, but it's an interesting footnote for it. Tetris Effect. Pretty good. Tetris Effect is another game I adore. It's a game I'd like to find more excuses to play. It's one of my comfort games for like when I'm feeling sad or down for any reason. I boot up Tetris Effect Connected and then I just play that for a while, and then it helps me feel better. The presentation of Tetris Effect is astoundingly good. Like it's an experience, especially in VR. But I did play the VR mode on the show. It was very nice. I kind of went through the single-player campaign of Tetris Effect. It shows all of the themes that are in the game, or most of them. And the music is timed to... It's timed to your input actions for when you drop the pieces and move them around. So, when you drop them, it plays a percussion, and then if you flip the pieces around, like, flip them around before you put them down, a singer kind of does a cappella to it. Or if you even just move them around, it does that. And then when you drop it and finish a row of Tetris pieces, and they disappear, they glow, and then a chorus starts playing. And it's exactly as mesmerizing as it sounds. It's a game I'd like to play more often, but I don't know. I feel like there's other people that specialize in Tetris who are probably more interesting to watch than me. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This one's good. I never actually finished it. I got really close. I think the alright tier. Yeah, it was nice to finally be able to play Symphony of the Night. It was in the same collection of games as Rondo of Blood. It was like a 2-pack on the PlayStation 4. But I played it on PS5 through backwards compatibility. Symphony of the Night is one of the PS1's most cherished games. And it's on the PlayStation 4. It's also on the Xbox 360. The version in the PlayStation 4, it's actually got a retranslated script. So, the "Die Monster, you don't belong in this world" dialogue, that's not in the version I played. It's retranslated to sound more natural, but I think that makes it less memorable in my opinion, because the original on the PlayStation 1 and the 360, the script is like... The script and the voice acting is like so bad and hammy that it loops into being amazing. And it's a classic for that reason. But on the PlayStation 4, it's like more normal. It was fun exploring the castle, but it did get a little tiring after a while, running around in circles. And then trying to equip better items. I'm more of a I'm favor the Metroid side of Metroidvania a bit more than the Castlevania side. So that's just my personal taste. Great game, but I think the live streams got a little tiring after a while, so that's why I never actually finished it. I got all the way to the part where you defeat Richter and then unpossess him, and then you go to the upside down castle, and then that's like full of harder enemies. And then I stopped there. Never actually finished it. I keep thinking maybe I should, but I don't know. I feel like at this point I may as well just play it over again so more people can see it. Oh, so Metroid Zero Mission. This is another vertical one, and this one I'm ranking as pretty good. This was not something I live streamed on Twitch, I remember, because I did it in vertical format. I didn't know the game as well as I do now, so I kind of like stumbled in places. I got lost. But I had a really good time. I did manage to finish the main story where you defeat Mother Brain. And then the part where you crawl around as Zero Suit Samus in the Space Pirate base. That was a second live stream for the game. If I replayed Metroid Zero Mission right now, it'd probably be one live stream, because I know it a lot better. And it'd also be in hard mode to be more interesting, I guess. Oh, Hell Nictalis, thank you for the 100 bits! Did I never put a notification for that? Oh, goodness. I really should add something for that, shouldn't I? I'm sorry. Oh, that's a blank graphic.
Hellenic Taoist just shared 100 bits.
Thank you so much, Hellenic Taoist. That's awesome. Thank you for the 100 bits. I really appreciate it, man. I just call people man. Hey, man, how's it going, man? My brother does that. He calls people man, so I guess I picked up the habit from him. Okay, so I think that's pretty much everything about Zero Mission. I'd like to play it again in the hard mode, and I don't know, entertain the idea of playing it with the new arcade stick that I got. But I don't know yet. So Rocket League, it's actually, personally, I don't much care for Rocket League. I mean, my sister's fiancé likes it. Like, he loves the game. He plays it all the time. Whenever I go visit them, he's like, "Want to play Rocket League?" And I'm like, "Okay." And then we play together. But I don't really play it much on my own time. I don't remember a whole lot about the live stream I did about it. Yeah. You think you caught a minute or two of that stream? Oh. I forget what I did. I think it was just regular matches of Rocket League, because I felt like playing one day. Maybe I was testing something. I don't know. I really don't remember. But yeah, Rocket League, I'm not the biggest fan of Rocket League, but I could see the appeal. I like watching other people play it. I like, yeah. They make it look so... I mean, not easy, but like so effortless. The way they soar through the air. Like they're driving anything but a car that's stuck on the ground. They're like doing barrel rolls and flips and stuff. And then they manage to perfectly hit the ball to the goal. And meanwhile, here I am hitting into my old goal by accident. I mean, maybe if I practiced it a bit more. Or, okay, a lot more. But then I think Rocket League would have to be the only thing I live stream. It's a good game. But I don't think it's for me. Splatoon 3. Oh, I remember not liking this at all. Splatoon 3. Now, before you get your pitchforks out, Splatoon fans, Splatoon is a franchise that I've cherished for a long time, and my sister loves it. She loved it ever since I showed it to her, Hazel. Like, it's one of the games that she wants to play, but when I did the multiplayer, which is what I focused on in that live stream, I don't think I won a single round. In fact, I got utterly demolished in every single one of them. Like, I couldn't even get any shots off, and then I found that very frustrating. So the live stream turned into me screaming at the game, cursing it out, and I'm like, I don't think I want to play this again. So for that reason, it's in my never again tier. This is just for the multiplayer part of the game. If I ever do Splatoon, it'll probably be the single player campaigns. I don't think I want to subject myself to Splatoon multiplayer. At least not without a whole lot of practice first. So Metal Gear Solid 2. It's okay. Actually, I got Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes for the GameCube recently. I managed to hunt down a copy of that. The Retro Game Store just happened to have one. But before I did that, I was looking for games to play on my Xbox, the original Xbox. And Metal Gear Solid 2 was one of the games that the convention booth was selling. The same one I got my OG Xbox from. So I decided to buy it from them. And then that was one of the games I live streamed. It's a good game. I liked it. I don't think I clicked with Metal Gear Solid quite yet. Maybe if I play it a few more times. But I'm like, you know, this is the second game in the series. Maybe I should play the first one to start with. And so I was holding off on it ever since. And now that I got Twin Snakes, that may just be one of the next games I live stream, actually. Because I still got my GameCube. And I really want to hear, what's his name? The guy who reads your mind. I forget his name. But he's like, on the PlayStation 1, he's like, so, you like to play Castlevania? Because he's like, reading the save files you have on your memory card, and then that's how the mind-reading trick works. But in Twin Snakes on the GameCube, he could say stuff like, so, you like to play Super Mario Sunshine? Or Super Smash Bros. Melee? And then he even asks who your main is. I think he's like, my main in Smash Bros. Is Yoshi. I really want to see what he says. So I'm looking forward to that part. Really fun game, but I don't think I clicked with it quite yet. So it's more of a me problem, I think. Alright, next game. Alien Isolation. I think this is when I started getting more people to appear on the stream. It's not my favorite game. Actually, no. Never again. I did not like Alien Isolation. I don't think survival horror is a genre that I like. Not because I'm, like, scared, but because if I play a game, you have to have the ability to fight back. And that's why I like Dead Space more than Alien Isolation, because you're, like, super helpless in Alien. You gotta, like, hide not only from the xenomorph that's crawling in the vents, but you also gotta hide from the other people who are in the ship, who are much better armed than you are. And so, that combined... The people combined with the xenomorph, combined with me very foolishly deciding to get on a PlayStation 5 where the controller has a microphone in it, and the xenomorph being able to hear you speak in real life while I'm doing a goddamn live stream where I gotta entertain people. Yeah, that was not wise. I didn't like it. I know it's a great game, it's just not for me. Doom 3, not the greatest. So Doom 3, that's one of the games I got for my OG Xbox. I got it at a convention too, but it was at a different booth selling retro games. At the time, people were very impressed by Doom 3's graphical capabilities, because lighting was still very poorly implemented and understood on game consoles at the time, and the Xbox was the most powerful console at the time. So, it was one of those quote-unquote impossible ports for the system that got people's attention. What? Another ad? I'm not done with this one yet. So, Doom 3. The game has very impressive lighting, which is funny because everything's enveloped in darkness. But, I mean, like, shining the flashlight onto things. Finding your way around. The enemy encounters were suspenseful at first, but they got kind of monotonous after a while. Like, it stopped being scary. You're not playing as Doom Guy in Doom 3, you're playing as a normal scientist in a lab. So it's kind of from the perspective of a normal person. And Doom 3 is interesting in that regard. Like, it's a good idea, but the enemy encounters and the level designs got monotonous after a while. So while it started out pretty tense, it got kind of boring after a while. And I even said as much when I was actually live streaming it. So yeah. It's not the best Doom game, but it's fine, but not the best. Not the best example of a Doom game. Still a pretty impressive showcase for the original Xbox, though. Buckshot Roulette was pretty good. It's one of those fad games. Buckshot Roulette. What was the game about? I think you had to, like, make bets in a card game. And... Wait, now I remember. It's Russian roulette. So you make bets on whether the gun has a bullet in it or not, and then you have to either shoot yourself or the opponent. And then, obviously, some of the bullets are blanks. And obviously you want to not shoot yourself when there is a bullet in it. But also you want to try and prevent the monster on the other side of the table from shooting you. But sometimes he'd shoot himself, which is hilarious. So it's like Looney Tunes-esque, but more horror. It's graphically similar to a PS1 game, so it's not like too gory. So I didn't mind that too much. Yeah, I enjoyed Buckshot Roulette. I enjoyed playing it. But I don't know if it's the thing I don't know if I'd livestream it regularly. Actually, I've got to move this down to all right. It's kind of a one-note game, so I don't know if I can make a second livestream about it interesting. I don't think even playing it with my feet cam on would make it interesting. Metroid Prime! Oh my god! Another game I love. But I'm putting in pretty good. Metroid Prime is a game I never get tired of, but there's parts of it that get a little much. Like, looking for the artifacts and the fight against Ridley at the end. Ugh, Ridley. Like, it's a good game, but it's a great game, even. But I think near the end I was, like, so done with the fetch quests and running around the world with no fast travel that I was like, I just wanted it to end. I'm gonna be playing it with my feet this Sunday. Oh boy, the fetch quest, but I'm playing with my feet on the camera. Yeah, as of doing the fetch quest with a normal controller wasn't bad enough. But Metroid Prime was a great game. I enjoyed it at first, I loved it. But I think Metroid Prime 2 is probably my favorite Prime out of all of them. I think it just handled the fetch quest stuff better than the first one. And I enjoyed the Dark World in that game because it was super tense. Metroid Prime 1 is a great game, but I think Metroid Prime 2 is better, personally. Yeah. Indeed. Bloodstained. Ritual of the Night. How would I rank it? It's a Castlevania-type game, so it looks at Symphony of the Night and other games of that similar ilk. I do like the soundtrack of the game and the character designs. I never actually finished this one either. I got put in alright, with same tier as Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. If I ever go back and finish it, then I'll be happy to do so. But yeah, good game. I don't think the live stream for it was probably middle of the road to me. Like, I enjoyed playing it, but nothing about it really stood out to me. Like, there's no memorable jokes or moments from it. So it just kind of happened. Oh, Dead Space. I remember getting this one on sale. It was like, I think I got it for like $5 on the Xbox. It's a good game. I play this for Halloween. It's a very scary game, but unlike Alien, you could actually fight back, so I like it a lot better than Alien Isolation. This is a game I played quite a lot on the 360. But I only played it once, which is kind of shocking. I think it's because Except for Halo, I don't really play a lot of M-rated games on the channel. Oh, and Metal Gear. I thought maybe the subject matter would be a bit too heavy for the channel. So I guess I didn't want to keep playing it. But the game itself is amazing. It's one of the best games ever made. If you're a fan of sci-fi or horror, or both at the same time, I highly recommend Dead Space. It's one of the greatest games ever. Spin Rhythm. This is a smaller game. I think it's an indie game. It might have been... probably an indie game. Made for a mobile phone. I got this on the PlayStation 5 because I was looking for games that use the trackpad in the center of the DualShock. DualSense, whatever it's called. When I'm looking for games on the PlayStation 5, I want games that take advantage of the DualSense. And Spin Rhythm XD kind of fit that bill. So instead of using the touchscreen like you would on a phone, you'd use the trackpad. And then you use that to keep your finger on the notes as they come down the screen. And then that's how you played that. It's an okay game. I think that was the first time I got copyright struck on a YouTube video because of the music they used. But other than that, it was a pretty smooth ride. Halo 2! This one was pretty good. Pretty good. Now, the Halo 2 itself, great game. It's got a lot of balance issues because they infamously rushed it out the door. But it's an amazing game. It's a timeless classic. Even nowadays, I see, like, not just people who grew up with Halo, but, like, younger generations. I see, when they see Halo, and they start playing it, they can't put it down. Halo is something special. Halo 2 especially. Now, the livestream itself, I recall there were some issues with the livestream itself. Like, the first half hour, I tried playing on the OG Xbox. I tried playing the copy of Halo 2 that I used for the Insignia streams, which I'll get to. Actually, maybe I'll talk about those next. It's gonna be a freaking while. So I tried playing the copy I have for the OG Xbox, but I think I was having issues with the controller. So I was like, I'm gonna switch over to the Series X and play the Anniversary remake instead. Which, internally, it's the same code, but they, like, made new graphics for everything, and they redid the cutscenes as pre-rendered movies, and then they reorchestrated the soundtrack and put new music in it. And I also had the gyroscope mod for the Series X. And so from that point on, I really enjoyed playing it. I couldn't put it down, except for when I had to, eventually. The Arbiter's story is one of the best science fiction stories I could think of. And Master Chief's pretty cool, too. He's got some fun one-liners, like, "Sir, permission to leave the station." And then Lord Hood is like, "For what purpose, Master Chief?" And then Master Chief responds, "To give the Covenant back their bomb." And then he does something really badass. He flies out of the airlock. Cortana's like, "What if you miss?" And then Chief says, "I won't." And then he doesn't miss. And then he just eviscerates the enemy Covenant flagship with the bomb. It's, like, so cool. The only way that could have been better is if there was, like, a section of gameplay leading up to that moment where he, like, flew around. I don't know. I don't want to touch the classics. I feel like whatever I do, I just make it worse. But yeah, Halo 2, really good. Had some hiccups during the actual live stream, which keeps it out of loved it. But once I got going, I really, really liked it. Oh, the last story. I played this once. It's a really obscure old JRPG for the Wii. There was voice acting in this one, so I didn't have to read literally all the dialogue. It's got kind of real-time battles. I'm not sure if I put it in alright or... I'm like torn between these two. I mean, it's a good game. The teammates where they repeat the exact same dialogue during battles, it got a little annoying after a while. The story's kind of generic, actually. Character designs are cool, they're like Final Fantasy-esque. Oh, actually, this was a vertical live stream, so it wasn't on Twitch. I really like the thumbnails with the unique art styles like The Last Story and Metal Gear Solid 2. Sometimes I like being a little bit extra with the thumbnails. Even with Splatoon 3 here, I drew the goop on my head. I felt so bad. I went through all the effort to make the thumbnail for this. Like, the splat and the real squid shooting the splatter shot. And then I ended up hating it. It's so sad. But anyway, The Last Story. It's not the best game I've played, but it's not the worst either. There's probably a good reason why Xenoblade Chronicles is the series that caught on and not The Last Story. But it's been so long since I played Xenoblade Chronicles, so I don't remember. Oh, the Wind Waker! Wind Waker's an old favorite. I played the HD version of Wind Waker on the Wii U, so I was like using the gamepad. I think that was the first time I tried setting up a hand cam, but it was a little sloppy, so it didn't look that good. And when I was actually playing it, I only played it for one live stream. I meant for it to be a series, but I kind of fell off of it. I guess it's a good game, but I guess I kind of expected to have more fun with it when I was live streaming it. Like, maybe I wasn't enjoying it as much as I thought. But it's still a great game, though. Highly recommend checking out the original on NSO if you can. Oh, Sonic Adventure 2! This is going to be controversial, but I didn't like playing it that much. I like playing Sonic's levels. I like playing the Hero campaign. But when I got to the Dark campaign, which is like the entire second half of the live stream, that's when things really fell off a cliff. I very, very strongly prefer the first Sonic Adventure to the second one, because Sonic Adventure 1 lets you play the character stories however you like. But in Sonic Adventure 2, it's way of the highway. So if a Knuckles or Roots or Tails or Eggman level shows up, then that's tough, because you gotta play it, because the story demands it. And there's discourse amongst Sonic fans whenever I talk to them. I'm like, why... Robotnik says Roots has 15 minutes to look in Security Hall for the Chaos Emeralds, and then she's like, 5 minutes should be plenty. And then it's like a huge sprawling fucking hall with a ton of nooks and crannies and locked doors and keys, and you only have 5 minutes to look through the whole thing. And that was so stressful, and I hated it. And then don't even get me started on Mad Space. Sonic fans are like, oh, Sonic did the spherical planets first. And then I'm like, oh yeah, but Mario made the spherical planets not suck in Mario Galaxy. And it also introduced Rosalina, and she is my favorite. She's my favorite Mario girl. But that's besides the point. Oh, so here's a little fun fact. The red version of myself in this thumbnail, that's not actually a hue shift. That's actually a separate model that I rigged. Like, I made an alternate palette swap version of myself, and I even changed the logo on the shirt to be an R instead of an A. R for red. And it's like a different font and everything. I can show you right now, actually. It's on my computer. I call him Blueaizu. I thought about making him like more flamboyant, outspoken version of myself. But I'm like, maybe I should just be myself when I'm Aizu. Let me see if I can find him. It's on a different monitor. I don't want anything hilarious to pop up. Let's see. Oh, it's only the Clip Studio Paint model. Yeah, it'll be starting up right now. But yeah, Sonic Adventure 2. Most of my most cherished memories from Sonic Adventure 2 are actually from the Chow Garden. We spent hundreds of hours playing it when we were kids, me and my siblings. Even now, my big brother, he like grinded Sonic Adventure 2 for the best Chow possible. I actually helped a bit because I'm the designated emblem getter for unlocking stuff in that game's black market in the Chow Garden. So that's how I spend most of my time in Sonic Adventure 2, replaying the levels that I enjoy. I can grit my teeth for like 1 or 2 levels for ones that I don't really like that much for the emblems. But yeah, my brother, he was glued to the game for a while, and he made a Chow that won all of the competitions and the Chow races and the Chow Karate. And he's now enjoying a peaceful retirement in the Hero Garden. It's one of our favorite games to play on family vacations, because we just cherish it that much. But when I actually play through the game's story, that's like the game when it's at its worst for me, because I don't like being forced to play the levels I don't like. I never really enjoyed the Knuckles or Rouge levels. And the Eggman and Tails levels, they're kind of boring. They're like mid. The game's at its best when you're playing a Sonic or Shadow. So it's a shame that you don't really play as them that much. So anyway, here's Blueaizu. He has 4 arms because of the arm toggle. The blush is a toggle too. See the R logo? That's actually something that was never ever seen until now. Okay, so the model itself is hue shifted a bit. But I kind of liked the green because it's a contrasting color. So I decided to keep that in. Everything about him's red. Except the skin color. The hair's different from how I have it now, too. Because when I was designing Aizu, my model, the hair was loosely inspired by how my hair gets when it's really long and curly. But then I decided it would look, the silhouette might be better or cuter if it went all the way down, not just part way. So that's actually something I did in Live 2D. I didn't draw it that way. Little side tangent. So on to the next game, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. I'm gonna be honest, not the greatest. The game itself is fine, but again, it's a lot of reading, so that kind of limits how I can interact with the chat. And I really don't like doing the Turtle Duck voice. I do a pretty good Goofy, though. Gore, Sora? Is that the door to darkness? I've been told I have a really good Goofy voice. I don't think I would subject my Donald Duck voice to even my worst enemy. And I really hate my worst enemy, so you know it's bad. I thought Kingdom Hearts... I just skipped to Kingdom Hearts 2 for Chain of Memories. I already know what happens in the story, so if the confusion pops up in Kingdom Hearts 2's story, I could just quickly explain it to people. But in Chain of Memories, the combat gets kind of monotonous because it eventually evolves into using card breaks and slates that prevent the enemy from attacking at all, so I feel like that's probably not very entertaining to watch. But it's still interesting to see Game Boy Advance footage of Kingdom Hearts. Because when most people play Chain of Memories on livestream, it's the PlayStation 2 version. So I figured it might be more unique and stand out more if I played the Game Boy Advance original. And personally, I prefer it on GBA, because it was, one, it was designed for the console. Two, the graphics are more charming, it's got more charming pixel art. Three, there's just less stuff to keep track of. Like, if you're fighting, and then an attack looks like it should hit, it does hit. But in the PS2 remake, everything's slower, and you, like, gotta keep track of stuff in a 3D environment, and you gotta lock on. And then you can, like, whiff some attacks. Even, there's more of attacks, but PS2 has broken attacks of its own, like, Lethal Frame. You just stop everything, and then you attack the enemy constantly with, like, a flurry of swipes, and then you just delete them from existence. So I felt like doing that over and over would get pretty old for people, so I kind of dropped off Chain of Memories. I would love to play the DS Kingdom Hearts games on the show, but I'm still trying to figure out how to get, like, an HDMI capture footage of DS games, or 3DS games. Everywhere I look, it's, like, impossible. The people who used to make hardware mods for HDMI for the 3DS, I don't think they make them anymore. And it may not even be for the model of the 3DS I have. It has to be the new 3DS. I have the launch model. I'm also afraid that they're gonna break it. So, I don't think I'm streaming DS or 3DS games anytime soon. If I could go back in time and be able to download stuff from the Wii U eShop, I think I totally would. If I knew, like, 10 years later I was going to be a VTuber. Well, VTubers didn't exist back then. Not as they exist now. But, you know. Metroid 2. Return of Samus. Another Game Boy game. This one was pretty good, actually. Better than I expected. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I thought it'd be like this old, clunky, outdated kind of thing, where it's super frustrating and obtuse, like the NES Metroid. But to my surprise, except for the complete lack of a map, it was really polished. It was super focused on... It knew what its vision was, so it knew what it wanted its level design to be, and then the plot point of the baby Metroid imprinting on Samus. That was a key moment in Metroid lore. So I wanted to be sure that I included the game on the channel, but I couldn't play Samus Returns on the 3DS. So the Game Boy version was the next best thing. I don't know why we have Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. I think it might have been one of my mom's old games, or my uncle's, when they were still gaming regularly. I mean, my mom still plays Animal Crossing, but I don't know why we had Metroid. I don't know, I found it on a countertop one day and I took it. And I've had it ever since. I gave it a good home though, I think. And I play it on the show. I actually made my own map navigation. Like, I downloaded a map from online that somebody made. And then I, like, annotated it and made markings on it and planned using that. So that was pretty fun. Actually, that was really memorable. Actually, I'm gonna move this up to loved it. I loved playing Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. I loved using the map. It felt like so... It felt like the perfect combination of me playing a game and, I don't know, me being a VTuber outside of it. It was like the perfect marriage. More games like Metroid 2, please. Oh, Mughead. I mean, Cuphead. Cuphead. Cuphead's one of my favorite games. My favoriteest games ever. I'm always happy to play Mughead. I mean, Cuphead. Why did I call it Mughead? Mughead. Like, if you, like, slur the words, it's like, Mughead. Mughead. Cuphead is a great game. It's one of my favorites. I love the hand-drawn graphics. I love the tough but fair boss battle gameplay. I love the aesthetic, I love the soundtrack, I love the people who made it. I really look up to them. Just everything about Cuphead. Even when I spend an hour or longer on a boss, I'm never mad at Cuphead because I just love playing it so much. I appreciate the artistry, I appreciate the well thought out gameplay designs. And the bosses are so creative. Like, how did they come up with that? Some of them are references to old games, like the dragon from Mega Man 2 being Matchstick, the dragon. And I think the frogs that turn into a slot machine, their background is a reference to Street Fighter 2. Except instead of anime people, it's like flies. And there's a whole DLC, but I didn't play that yet, so I'm leaving that out of this tier list. Maybe the next one. I got Cuphead on Steam originally, but I got the Switch version physical, so I could be able to hold it in my hands. If I play it again, it'll be on the Switch. Because that's where I played the livestream version of Cuphead. Since I have the Switch too, it should load a lot faster too. Oh, Pokemon. Fucking Pokemon. Never again. So this is a little known fact. I actually have two live streams in this series. This is the thumbnail from the first one. This is like chronicling the very, very start of the journey. Like, I think up to the halfway point. Like, I was having a pretty good time in this. I was like trying to deduce what legally counted as blue, because I was trying to only use blue Pokemon. So I started with Squirtle. I got a Tentacool, I got... What else did I get? I think I wanted to get Tangela, because it's the only blue grass type. I wanted to get a Vileplume too, but then I found out that the Oddish family is only in Fire Red, and I was playing Leaf Green. Because Leaf Green is the one I grew up with. Fire Red belonged to my brother, he gave it to me, because he didn't want it anymore. So now I just have both of them. But it was another case of me remembering why I can't stand Pokemon in the first place. Because I was trying to get to Articuno on the Seafoam Islands in the second live stream, and I got really mad at all the wild encounters. Like, it drove me insane. And then trying to actually catch Articuno, because it'd be the best blue Pokemon I'd have access to. I spent the whole live stream trying to catch it with Ultra Balls, and they all broke. And I was like, swearing at the game. I got so mad at it. I was like, oh, how can anybody like Pokemon? Pokemon's nobody's favorite game, etc. That's just what the whole second live stream devolved into. And I'm like, I really don't like Pokemon, do I? So I just stopped playing it. And now I'm not playing Pokemon on the channel again. Greetings, Kentrel. How are you doing tonight? You're just in time for me explaining why I'm not playing Pokemon on the channel ever. Oh, Kirby! Kirby the Amazing Mirror. This one's pretty good. I think... Whoops. My shirt's gone. So for Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, it's a more labyrinthian kind of game from the usual Kirby fare. Finished playing Multicraft. Some rude villagers took your house. Oh, that's not cool. You should get it back then. So Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, it's kind of a Metroidvania-esque. Instead of being level progression, every level is like stitched together as a big labyrinth. Hence the pun, amazing. Amazing Mirror. In Japan, it's actually called Great Labyrinth of the Mirror, or something along those lines. Kagami? No. Actually, let me look it up. Japanese. Hoshinokabi. Kagami no Dai Meiko. Oh. Kirby of the Stars. The Great Maze of the Mirror. The Big Maze of the Mirror. One of those. So it's a game I also enjoyed. I wanted to try and keep track of it with the map like in Metroid 2, but I eventually started going on autopilot and just beating all the bosses, and I'm like, you know what, I could do this in one sitting. So I did. And then I just ran out of stuff I could do in that game. I did the sub-games too, and that was at the end of the live stream, because I wanted to be sure I covered as much as I could have. Really good game. It was another favorite of mine growing up. For some reason, you can't hurt villagers in Multicraft. Trying to damage them with their gold sword, but it whiffed. Alright, see, my knowledge of Minecraft is rather limited. But one thing I do know is that gold weapons are not very good as melee weapons, because in real life, gold is actually very malleable, which means it's not very dense, so you can, like, squish it into different shapes. So if you make a sword out of gold, then it's not going to be a very good sword. But they, like, balanced it out by making it easy to enchant or something. I don't know, I'm not an expert, but that's just what I heard. Oh, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I forgot about this game. So I'd say it's pretty good. Gold weapons are good in Multicraft. Oh, different. So, Echoes of Wisdom. It's the first Zelda game where Zelda herself is playable. Not counting the CDI games. Nobody counts those. Instead of using a sword, like Link, Zelda's able to make echoes of objects and enemies and stuff so they can fight for her. So it's kind of testing your resourcefulness in that way. So she tackles the world in a different way from Link. It's a fun game. But I think I'm more partial to the traditional Zeldas. So, like, you can use the weapons as you please. Oh, but Bob the Killer Candle. Like, I'd summon the candle enemy and then burn everything with it. So that was funny. I'm gonna put it in alright. In Multicraft, you can hurt villagers. Oh, in Minecraft, you hurt villagers, but in Multicraft, it takes very strange circumstances to kill them. And in the old Multicraft, you can properly damage them. I wonder if the villagers sent formal complaints to Multicraft so that they couldn't be hurt. That's my, like, opinion, man. Anton Blast! Anton Blast. This was a great game. One of the best. One of the best indie games that I've ever played. And one of the best games overall, I'd say. It's inspired by Wario Land on the Game Boy Advance. And it wears that inspiration on its sleeve. And then it dials the speed and mayhem up to 11. Maybe even higher than that. Maybe up to 111. There were some parts that got frustrating near the end, but I played it for like 5 hours straight. I remember that. And as I've thoroughly established, it takes something very special to hold my attention for 5 hours straight. I lost track of time when I was playing Anton Blast. And that's the highest form of praise I could give. I lost track of time when I was playing it. It's a fantastic game. And I heard they just made an expansion for it. So I might just check it out in the coming 2026. Oh, Mario RPG! This is another game that I went wild for when it was revealed. I was so happy to see Mario RPG back. But there's still dialogue in it, but it's a lot snappier and there's not nearly as much as Thousand Year Door. So I enjoyed it a fair bit more. Hey, that rhymed. So I'd say it's pretty good. It moves at a pretty brisk pace, So I was able to do multiple chapters in one sitting for each of the sessions that I did for Mario RPG. I really should pick it up again sometime. It's a great game. Oh, I remember seeing my mom. That was one of her favorite games on the Super Nintendo. I think we still have it somewhere. But it's at her house. I don't know, I think... My mom watches this show sometimes, so I think seeing Mario RPG would make her happy. Oh, Yars Rising. This is a surprise game from Atari. There's an old game on the Atari 2600 called Yars Revenge. It's kind of a sci-fi shooting game. It's very rudimentary by today's standards because it was on the Atari 2600. This is actually a vertical live stream that I did, so it's not on Twitch at all. Yars Rising is a Metroidvania that's set in a sci-fi punk world. Cyberpunk world. At first it seems like a straight reboot that has nothing to do with the Atari game, but there's like actually mini-games inspired by old Atari games. So like the old Yars Revenge. So you play as this fly. It's like a sentient fly that has an advanced civilization on another planet. You have to use you have to charge the Yar cannon, and then you shoot the enemies with it. You have to shoot the big missile. Maybe I can find a visual example. A visual aid might help. Yars Revenge, Yars Revenge. Oh, here's a screenshot. Oh, it's animated too. Perfect. So let me open this in a separate tab and I'll show you. There we go. One moment. Go away! I don't want to collaborate with that bot advertising cheap viewers. So you play as Yars, which is this purple fly-looking thing. You have to avoid this missile that's following you. And you have to eat away at the shield surrounding it. And once you eat enough of the shield away, you'll be able to charge the cannon back here. And then you shoot it at the enemy. And then the enemy blows up. And then you just do that forever until you lose. Oh, and this is the neutral zone. So it's like kind of a protective barrier against stuff that gets fired at you. And secretly, it's the game's source code that's all scrambled up and put in the center of the screen. Because it's like one of the ways that the developer got around the strict limitations of the Atari 2600. I played a few rounds of Yars Revenge at the start of Yars Rising, so people can, like, get the context of what the game was, because I don't think anybody that's not a huge retro Atari enthusiast that, like, grew up with the game, they might not know what Yars is, because goodness knows that I didn't. So I showed that to them first. Yars Rising is a good game. It's a really good game. Super underrated. There's a lot more levels in the Yars Revenge format, which is pretty much all I wanted from a Yars sequel. I'm like, why do they not make more Yars games? They're pretty good. My one complaint is that there's not more level types, and Yars Rising has like 100 of them. Maybe more. And it's a Metroidvania too, and I love Metroidvanias. Dialogue's kind of corny, but in a charming way. Yeah, super underrated game, and I really enjoyed live streaming it. Actually, I don't think I finished it. Why didn't I finish it? Sonic Generations. Oh, for the record, these were played in Sonic X Shadow Generations, but I'm counting them as separate games because they are separate games. Sonic Generations. Sonic Generations is a great game. Fantastic game. Very effortless for me to play it. It's like... Not like that. It's kind of a tradition for me to play it every so often. And every time I do, it's all in one sitting. I don't do all the missions and stuff, though. I just do the levels. And as many missions as I need to do to unlock the next one. Sonic Generations is actually one of the very few games I got all the achievements in its original release. So if you look at my Xbox profile, you'll see that Sonic Generations has all the achievements unlocked. A lot of people liked Sonic Generations when I played it too. I was very pleasantly surprised. I didn't expect much, but people really enjoyed it. One guy really liked the idea of Sonic going into... of the Wisps going into Sonic and giving him powers. I was actually a little concerned for them. I remember that. So Shadow Generations. Shadow Generations is fantastic, but I actually had to live stream it twice. Because the first time, that's when I got my new microphone, which is the one I use now. And it warbled my voice for the whole time I was playing. So like 2 to 3 hours, my voice was super distorted and high-pitched and warbled and glitchy. I thought the chat was kidding around, messing with me. And they thought I was like doing a bit, but then I found out the mic was distorting my voice, and then that kind of killed it for me. So I deleted that original live stream as Shadow Generations. And then I played it again later. I don't think people were as receptive of it, because with Sonic Generations, when I streamed that, the Sonic 3 movie, that's when that came out. So I think hype for Sonic was pretty high at the time. So I wanted to be sure I played Shadow Generations. That sounds funny, I wish you kept that. It's funny for like a minute or two. If you listen to it for like 2 hours, then it gets really grating. Trust me. It might be you wanted to hear it. It was like,
Hey guys, what's up? This is Sonic.
So, Shadow Generations is a great game. One of the best. Well, maybe not one of the best, but it's up there. Going to search it up before you say I deleted it. Yeah, if you look up the Shadow Generations livestream I did, that's actually the second time I live streamed it. I think hype for Sonic 3 was dying down. So not as many people were looking up Sonic stuff. But I still had a good time playing it. But Shadow Generations, the first time I live streamed it, the memory of the microphone distorting just burned in my memory, and that's why at the start of every single live stream since then, I'm like, okay, is the audio okay? I always make sure. And then the one time I showed a moment of weakness, and then I didn't do that, the microphone distorted my voice again. And then I tried unplugging it, replugging it, like I did for Shadow, and then it didn't fix it, and I had to end the live stream and restart OBS. Yeah, good live stream the second time I did it. But I think Sonic Generations was the more fun live stream for people. Oh, Wario Land 4. This is another good game. I was in the middle of a super hard playthrough for it. Like, I did all the levels on normal difficulty. I picked up Wario Land 4 from a retro game store because it wasn't on Switch Online at the time. And so I played it on my Game Boy player. There were parts that frustrated me, but overall it was a really fun game. Very, very polished, very good showcase of what the Game Boy Advance could do compared to its predecessors. Actually, in the coming year, 2026, I want to start learning how to do homebrew for Game Boy Advance, because it was one of my favorite consoles growing up. And I was, like, practically glued to the thing. Like, wherever I went, the Game Boy Advance came with me. So I think it'd be really neat if I made a game for it myself. Oh, Control the Owl remembers back in the day when you were playing your 360, And he did something that made the CRT disconnect, and the static scared you so bad that you threw the controller and sprinted. Oh, that's the essence of analog horror. People make games based on that feeling. There's a part in Earthbound where... I don't want to spoil it too much because it's the final boss, but when you defeat the final boss, the TV kind of looks like it's going into static. And it was actually super convincing. Like, it looked like it was actually red static, and the TV shutting off. And that actually freaked a lot of people out. If you play Earthbound now on the Switch, or, you know, anywhere else, you can play Earthbound. Like, emulate it. It's a lot more obvious that it's the game itself, not the TV. But it's pretty convincing on a CRT. Oh, Pizza Tower! Pizza Tower's another great game. A lot of people showed up for this one, actually. It was another great one. Fantastic game. I loved it enough to buy it twice. I got it on Steam, and I got it on the Switch. And it was the Switch version that I played on the show. Pizza Tower is actually 2 live streams. I fully intended to do it in a single sitting, but then I lost power, because the power company by me is not very reliable. But fortunately for me, since I was playing it on the Switch, I didn't lose my progress. So I just finished the level I was on at the time, and then the second livestream was basically the final boss. So the first Pizza Tower livestream was a really, really long livestream where I'm just like gushing over the game and enjoying the hell out of it. And then it ends really, really abruptly. And then this second livestream is the final boss, basically. Why'd you suddenly start craving fries? Maybe it's because fries are awesome and they're delicious, but only when you eat them fresh. If they get cold, then they're not as good. They're not as effective. Risk of Rain. It was alright. Now, Risk of Rain does have its fans. Risk of Rain 2 was actually a gift from my little brother. And I thought playing it on the show would make him happy. I don't know if he was watching me at the time, or if he's watching this. Or, you know, if he ever watches me. But Risk of Rain 2, I enjoyed it for... I appreciate it for what it was, but I think for a single livestream, I don't think I clicked with it fast enough. So it was just a couple hours of me wandering around shooting stuff randomly, and I'm like, I don't know if I understand this game completely. Excuse me, my throat's dry. So I think if I ever play Risk of Rain 2 again, I'd have to look stuff up about the game, like what you're supposed to do. Or if he's willing, I could bring a little brother on the show, and then he could explain it all. Because he loves Risk of Rain 2, but I don't think I clicked with it. It's a good game. Just, it's not an Aizu kind of game, I don't think. I'm more of an old-fashioned level-based kind of guy. Risk of Rain's like a roguelike, so everyone's different. But for me, I think I gotta be super predictable for me to really want to keep replaying it. X-Defiant. Oh, X-Defiant. Excuse me for a minute. X-Defiant! Come back! Oh, why? Okay, sorry about that. So, X-Defiant. X-Defiant is no longer online. It was taken offline. Pretty good game. When X-Defiant came into existence, it's a Ubisoft game, and it incorporated Ubisoft properties into, like, its maps and its characters. So there were maps based on Far Cry. Is Far Cry Ubisoft? Maybe it's Rockstar, I don't... But, like, there's Splinter Cell maps. The Rabbids appeared. What else was in it? I just remember the Rayman level that they were planning on including eventually, but the game lost steam, and then they pulled the plug on it before it could come out. So in the 3rd season update for X Defiant, they just released all the stuff they were working on. And it was a huge update. I think if the game launched in that state, then it might have had a better shot at life. But gone too soon. Oh, you blew up a hill and made a giant crater. You didn't think the TNT stream would work? Oh, you just made a second Grand Canyon. You could turn that into a tourist attraction. Make lots of money. Money, money, money. Mario and Luigi. Brothership. Not the greatest. I think what threw me off about Mario and Luigi Brothership is that I was a diehard Mario and Luigi fan growing up. That was one of my favorite games on the Game Boy Advance. And for the whole time the series was on the DS, I played Partners in Time and Bowser's Inside Story to death. And then I got Dream Team the instant it went up on the 3DS eShop. Oh, my nose is really stuffy all of a sudden. Hard to breathe. What is up with this? It's too early for springtime allergies. It's the dead of winter. So, as I was saying, Mario and Luigi Brothership, I was happy to see the series returning on the Switch, but I think they kind of bungled the landing, so to speak. I mean, the graphics look really good. I guess the big band style music is fine, but big part of why I like Mario and Luigi is because they had Yoko Shimomura making the music. She works on Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Mario RPG as well. But she didn't come back for Brothership, so that kind of left a hole in my heart. It's got a good soundtrack in its own right, but it's just different. What killed Brothership for me was that Mario and Luigi's battle controls. Traditionally, Luigi was always on the B button, but for some ungodly reason, they moved Luigi's MIDI selections to the A button, but they kept his battle commands on the B button, and that constantly threw me off, like constantly. I could not get past that. I had to literally remap a controller so that the A button was on a different button, so it would stop tripping me up so much. But even then, it just felt more generic than the old games in the series. So I just kind of got bored of it. Kind of disappointed, really. Or maybe my taste shifted. I still think Mario and Luigi is very funny series, very off the wall. But Brothership was made by a totally different team of people. So, like, they tried their best with it, but it just didn't capture the spark for me. Alright, so I've got Deltarune here 4 times. I am ranking Deltarune 4 separate times. You like beef burritos? Me too. So, every chapter of Deltarune I'm ranking separately, because the gaps of time between Deltarune is long enough, and there's enough stuff in each chapter of Deltarune where I consider them their own standalone games. But they're all one package. So, Deltarune Chapter 1, it was alright. It's a good start for Deltarune. Good starting point. I think out of all the Deltarune chapters, it's probably the most by-the-numbers RPG presentation. It introduced all the characters. It introduced Chris, Rouse, Susie, Lancer, and the story. I enjoyed the card-based setting. Like, it was like Alice in Wonderland type of setting, I enjoyed fighting the king, I enjoyed Jeevil. But I think it's probably the weakest out of all the Deltarune chapters for me. It's not a bad game, far from it, but it just feels kind of generic compared to the later chapters of Deltarune. Deltarune Chapter 2, on the other hand, I love it. It's probably my favorite chapter in the whole series so far. I love Queen, I love the cyberspace setting, I love Birdly and Des? No, Des is Chapter 4. What's the name of that reindeer? Consort, I forgot her name. Deltarune reindeer. Oh, Noelle. Yeah, Noelle's cool. Literally, because she has ice powers. Like, Queen... Queen was the game. I love Queen. I love her design, I love her dialogue, I love her sense of humor. I love her boss fights. Like, every single boss fight against Queen is a riot. And then when Rousey explains the deal with the Dark Fountains and how they summon Titans, Queen's like, oh, I didn't know that! And then she just suddenly becomes not evil anymore. That was great. That is great. Chapter 2 is my favorite chapter of Deltarune. At this moment in time. Chapter 3? Pretty good, pretty good. I enjoyed the minigames. Tenno's a fun character. But compared to Chapter 2, it got a little... kind of felt like the story was spinning its wheels for a while. So... I guess I was starting to get a little tired of it as it went on. But then when you escaped from Tenno's control, and then you give Toriel back, and then... spoilers. The knight showed up. I was not expecting that. And I was like, oh, this is getting interesting. So yeah, pretty good chapter overall. I just think maybe the story got a little stagnant for a while. Last time we played Deltarune was only beat Chapter 1. You don't know why, but you stopped playing after that. Well, Deltarune's a very fun, very good game. Chapter 4 of Deltarune. Deltarune with Chapter 4 was actually 2 separate live streams. Like, it was... Well, I mean, every single chapter of Deltarune was long, but I think that was when my stream endurance was starting to get less good. I played Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 for like 5 hours straight. Chapter 3 I remember not being as long. Like, it was actually pretty short. Chapter 4... It was probably the most dramatic out of all the chapters so far. Very climactic, even though it's only the halfway point. I don't think I liked it as much as Chapter 2, but I'd put it above Chapter 3 for sure. I actually missed the secret boss in Chapter 4, because I think I forgot to do something, and I totally missed it, and I couldn't go back for it, so that kind of soured me on it a little bit. So pretty good chapter. You just killed a spider with ender pearls. That sounds difficult. I don't know how you did it, but you managed to do it, and I'm proud of you for that. Oh, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Loved it. I loved it. This is one of my favorite live streams ever. I played this on the Wii Trilogy Edition, which is a very rare game. Not many people have Metroid Prime Trilogy. The Trilogy version of Metroid Prime 2 is actually rebalanced to be easier than the GameCube original. So, I played it on easy mode, but actually it was pretty challenging still. It's regarded as the most difficult game in the Metroid Prime series. And for good reason, because it's a very impressive game. The Dark World hurts you just for being in it. The bosses are really difficult, the enemies are very strong. The weapons have ammo. Usually only the missiles have ammo in Metroid, but in Metroid everything but the power beam had ammo. So you had to keep track of your ammo. I think Metroid Prime 2 is my favorite in the series, because it handled the fetch quest at the end better, the light suit was awesome, the environments are all interesting, they're like labyrinthian without being too overwhelming. The way you go between the light and the dark world is super, super clever. Because you get a lot more mileage out of the same settings. But they get changed in key areas, and the enemies are different. And the toxic atmosphere of the dark world recontextualizes everything. The dark suit and the light suit are very unique designs for Samus's power suit. The worst boss is Spider Guardian. Spider Ball Guardian. Yeah, the bosses are very stressful in Metroid Prime 2. If I play it again, I think I'd do it on the normal mode, because I play it on the easy mode. Oh, and the Wii pointer controls, they're great. I love them. That's how I'm used to playing Metroid Prime now. Although, if you play it on the GameCube, it's a much more difficult experience. So, I think more people play it on the GameCube than the Wii, so that might affect it being people's favorite, but it's my personal favorite. On the Wii specifically. Sonic Frontiers. It was alright. It's a good game. It's Sonic's first open world type of game, so it's got growing pains. And I'm sure Sonic Team's like working them out for the next Sonic game. Shadow Generations actually came after Frontiers, so it kind of took some inspiration from it for its open hub world. Sonic Frontiers, I do enjoy just running around the world as Sonic, because it's fun to run around as Sonic, because he's fast, he could fly across the world by making him run up a cliff, and then send him flying that way. And you can use the momentum from that. I just think maybe the world itself, maybe it could use more, because a lot of them are just empty and don't really have landmarks. And all the stuff is just randomly flying in the air. So I feel like contextualizing that a bit more would be helpful. But that's what Shadow Generations do with its hub world. So stuff like that. I think worlds like that in Sonic Frontiers 2 would be great. Oh, you're making a new sword this weekend, Control? That's awesome. Actually, well, the way Sonic defeats one of the bosses in Sonic Frontiers is he takes the sword from them, and the sword's like 50 times its size, and he's like supersonic. And he just lifts it up effortlessly, and then he slashes. And then he blows up. But yeah, I only did the first island in Sonic Frontiers on the show. When I was playing Sonic Frontiers on my own time, I got all the way to the final island. And then that's when I kind of stopped playing it, because I saw all the epic boss fights. So I kind of lost motivation for it. Sonic Frontiers it's got a good foundation, but I think if they could figure out a way to turn Shadow Generations hub world into a full game on its own merits, and then make that Sonic Frontiers 2, I think Sonic would have a real winner on his hands. Oh, my sister loved Sonic Adventure 1, but she didn't like Sonic Frontiers. She thought the controls were weird, which I'm inclined to agree. They might be a bit too complicated. The way the game handles combat. I mean, I can wrap my head around it because I play a lot of games, but Hazel doesn't. But she's used to Sonic Adventure, which uses one button. Well, two buttons. Sonic Frontiers is more complicated than that, and the physics are different, and the controls are different. Sonic games are very different from each other. I think that's part of why the Sonic fanbase is so fractured, because all the games are different from each other. Like, you got the Genesis games, which they all had the same foundation and the same presentation and controls. And then Sonic Adventure was a pretty faithful adaptation of those games in 3D. But from Sonic Adventure 2 onward, they tried branching into so many different directions and changed the controls in so many ways that kind of alienated people every single time they released a new game. Oh, you love water? Me too. I'm thirsty. I think I'll drink some right now. But yeah, that's... I think that, combined with the comics having a different continuity... At least they used to be that way. And then, like, the animated cartoons had their own continuities. And all the games played totally different from each other. I think Sonic Frontiers... That's probably going to be the vision for the series going forward, because the open worlds in Sonic Frontiers... That was the inspiration for Shadow Generation's White World. And it was a lot of fun navigating the White World in Shadow. So I think Sonic Team's onto something for Sonic Frontiers 2, if they go in that direction. Anyway, enough rambling. Here's Rayman for the PlayStation 1. I would say it's alright. There's a cheese doodles flavor called Hot Honey, and there's some amazing chips. Oh, I wish I could have Hot Honey flavor. It's sweet, and it's spicy at the same time. It's pretty similar to how Rayman has colorful, cartoony graphics, super tight controls, but the levels are really, really difficult, even in the first world. And then in the second world, the band world, they got relentless. It's a very, very acquired taste kind of game. It was my old stomping grounds. I played on the Game Boy Advance version, the Game Boy Advance port of it, but I bought it on the PlayStation 3 on the PSN store. That was the first game I got on it, actually, because I always wanted to play the PS1 version of Rayman. So I played it on the show. To this day, I've never ever beaten Rayman on the PS1, the original. I would like to, but you have to find all the Electoon cages. It's hard enough just getting to the end of the levels in Rayman. I can't imagine activating the invisible trigger points that you need to find in the levels. You gotta really be thorough in them. It'll really test your skills. And your patience. So I think if Rayman 1 was easier to complete, if it was easier to reach the end of Rayman, then I'd probably rank it higher on the list. But as it stands, I don't think I'll ever be finishing Rayman. So it feels kind of futile. Your favorite kind of final boss is one that has multiple phases. Sounds like all of them, so you like final bosses in general. Is that it? Zenless Zone Zero? This is a gacha game. I don't usually like playing gacha games, because they feel kind of shallow to me. And they try to sell you on character skins that you gotta gamble for. But I liked Zenless. I'm putting in the alright tier. I think I had more fun with the legally distinct arcade games than the actual game itself. The actual game is like Devil May Cry Bayonetta style gameplay, where it's fast-paced fighting combat game. But you end up kind of using the same move over and over on all the enemies. So that gets kind of old. The way they sell you on different characters is they put their feet in the screen, and they also have different attacks. So the different gameplay varieties behind that. I don't know why Zenless is so fixated on feet. It's a little weird, honestly. And that's coming from me. But yeah, it's an alright game. I actually ended up enjoying the arcade games that they have for free in the arcade. I ended up enjoying those more than the game itself. I mean, it's fine. I would say no to a sponsorship from them, but it's not something I'd play for pleasure for myself. Oh, Portal 2. Portal 2, Portal 2, Portal 2. Fantastic game. Golden game. Great game. I love Portal 2. Portal 1 was already great, but Portal 2 just takes it to a whole nother level. The story's great, the levels are great, the power-ups are great, the goo is great. It adds so much more dimension to the puzzles. Wheatley is great. GLaDOS is great. Just everything about Portal. Everything about Portal 2. Fantastic. One of my favorite games ever made. Ever made. Oh no, it's fun to livestream too. Like with Portal 1, I played the Switch version in the Companion Collection on the Switch. I have it on PC, and I've actually made a few levels for it in the level editor a long time ago. That was like 2011. That was a long freaking time ago. But yeah, I think my one complaint about Portal 2 is that there's not more of it. I wish they'd make Portal 3, but at the same time, how do you improve on Portal 2? It's already so perfect. I can't really think of any ways. I don't know, let people make their own levels? The PC version lets you do that. So you can play Infinity Portal 2 levels. Although it's nice to play professionally made levels. If there's anything Mario Maker taught me is that people really should be forced to have a license to be able to design levels that people play. Because a lot of them suck. A lot of them are malicious too. Oh, Titanfall 2. I played the campaign in this game. It was fantastic. Titanfall 2 is amazing. Super underrated game. It's one of the best shooters I've ever played. BT is a fantastic character. Fantastic partner. And the grapple hook's fun. I like the parkour in Titanfall 2 as well. The multiplayer is very hard to get into because the people who are still playing it are super, super diehard fans who only ever play Titanfall 2 anymore. But the campaign for Titanfall 2 was fantastic. I think if you like first-person shooter games, you owe it to yourself to play Titanfall 2 at least once. All the way through. You're doing yourself a disservice if you're putting it off. It was made by the same people who made Call of Duty, I think. The good Call of Duty games, like the original Modern Warfare. So it's cut from the same cloth as those kind of games. Except you get to control a giant mech. And the giant mech is so much fun to use. I highly recommend playing Titanfall 2. It goes on sale for like $4, so it's dirt cheap. I really wish Titanfall 2 caught on. It deserves better than what it gets. Oh, Control's rarest form was only used once a year in 2019 cat form. Used only for a month. Oh, that's unfortunate. Kirby Star Allies. I mean, it's a good game. I just think maybe it's a little too easy. Like, you have 3 partner characters who practically play the game for you. And it's a very short game too, so... Well, actually, it was long enough for me to have to do it in 2 live streams. But overall, I don't think Star Allies was as compelling as the games that came before or since. Although I didn't play the alternate dimension mode. I played that for a while on my own time, and it's definitely a lot tougher. But the music and the visuals don't really change throughout the 100 levels or so that you played for. So it got kind of monotonous after a while. Yeah, Star Allies is not my favorite game in the series, but it's still pretty good. And the lore drops in Kirby, Star Allies. I think those are probably the biggest hook for fans. But I think if you're looking at it from a gameplay perspective, you could probably do better. Top 3 strongest forms of Control the Owl. Gauntlet Stage, Radio Chakra Mode, and then Lavender Mode Chakra. I see. So I guess the lavender mode's your strongest. Okay, next game. Atari. The 50th Anniversary Collection. It's pretty good, I enjoyed playing it. The way Atari 50 is presented, the games are presented in a historical context, like in a museum. So it's not just the game ROMs on a disc. Well, technically I downloaded it, but, you know. The games are fully playable. I got this on PlayStation 5, because I could use the trackpads as a trackball substitute for games like Breakout and Centipede. It's the closest I could get to a trackball. It was one of the streams I did a hand cam in, too. Because I wanted to show people myself using the controllers. Because of all the unique ways that the Atari games controlled. I think probably the most authentic version of Atari 50 is on the Atari VCS. Since it has a trackball controller of its own, and the stick controller. And also a keyboard. Like, all the old Atari controllers were compatible with it. But the PlayStation 5 is the next best thing, and that's what I had. So I played it on there. The livestream was more interesting than I thought it would be. Because I was following the timeline mode, which goes into the backstory of why the game was made and how it was made and the people who made it. And it had, like, advertisements and such as a documentary. I didn't watch all the videos, though, because I wasn't sure about the copyright standing of them. But overall, it was a fun time. I played through all the arcade games. If I play it again, it'll be checking out the 2600 games. I'll probably buy the Namco expansion, too, so I can be able to play Pac-Man and Dig Dug and all those games. I can't do an Atari 2600 game stream if I can't show you Pac-Man. Because that's a very infamously legendary game for the system. But I could go into more detail if I ever do it. But, yeah. Livestream was more fun than I was expecting. People seemed interested, which surprised me. As retro as it gets. That was the tagline I made for it. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This is a game I love live streaming. Nothing like watching nostalgic vids on the TV with your sun beacon, pure bliss. Yeah, Atari is nostalgia for a lot of people. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Kirby's first full-fledged 3D mainline game. I actually played it on my old channel before I was a VTuber. I just did the single player normally, because it was a new game at the time. So for the playthrough on this channel, I figured a way that I could make it stand out was doing the co-op with Bandana Waddle Dee. So I actually dual-wielded controllers for it. And it was the first game I ever played with using my feet. I didn't have a camera at first, but in one of the later ones, goddammit, in one of the later ones, like the latest one I did, I actually did have a feet cam set up. Some people were crying for it. You freaks! I do love the 360 too. But yeah, playing as Bandana Dee with my feet and toes, it's really tough because I can't reach all the buttons. And that's why I got the arcade stick. If you don't mind me indulging a little bit. This one. If I play Forgotten Land again, I'm going to be using this for Bandana Waddle Dee. I use my hands and my feet at the same time. And that gets really, really confusing at points. But that's part of the fun. Yeah, it's a very memorable series of live streams for me. Because it's one of the games that I specifically played on live stream twice. And I still have to do the DLC for the Switch 2 version. There's like a whole new campaign for it. And I didn't even touch it. I'm still playing through the Forgo Dream world. I really should get back to Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Now that I got the arcade stick for the second player. It's something that I put on hold. And now that I got the means to do it easier, I should play it again. So Pac-Man World 2. It's good. Childhood favorite game. So Pac-Man World 2. It's kind of a generic 2000s platformer. There were a lot of platformers at the time. Pac-Man World 2 is just one of many. But a lot of kids grew up with it, and I was one of those kids. So it was one of the games I got for my OG Xbox. I actually grew up with it on the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube, because I didn't have the Xbox growing up. I got the Xbox version because it's the only one with widescreen, so I figured it'd be a good quality of life visual for the live stream. Little did I know it was a evil fake widescreen where it zoomed in on the game. It wasn't proper widescreen, so parts of the screen were cropped out. And I think the game might have been a bit easier if I could have that little bit of vertical visibility. I didn't notice it until the final boss against Spooky the Ghost. Because I was having trouble seeing where to attack him. Because you're supposed to do the flip kicks in midair to hit him. And I was like, yeah, it's really hard to see him. And then that's when I realized that the widescreen was actually zooming in on the game. Excuse me. Mecha Break. Pretty hectic game. I mean, it's fun, but I feel like the matches kind of blend together for me. It's hard to find stuff to talk about, too. Yeah, not much else to say about it, really. It's a giant mecha game, and it's multiplayer only. When I did the tutorial, I thought it'd have a single-player campaign, because that's kind of how it presented itself. Like, you go through a space station that's under attack, and it's a linear hallway, and you fight enemies. And then when you go to main base, it talks about how there's various missions scattered across the world. And that's not a campaign. That was actually a framing device for the multiplayer matches. And then you just, I don't know, you fight other people in giant robots, and that's kind of it. Splitgate 1. Splitgate is a good game. Well, it was a good game. Splitgate 1 as it was when I played it here, it's no longer online. The game is offline now, so you can't play it anymore. I enjoyed it very much. It was a great game. It's like Halo, but with portals. Actually, that's exactly what it is. I mean, there's a sprint button, so it differs from Halo in that regard, but it's got the DNA of Halo. And it also adds the portals from, well, Portal. So it's like a hybrid of the two games. Most people didn't bother with the portals that I played with, so they were always caught by surprise whenever I saw a portal behind them. And then I shot my gun through the portal and hit them in the back. Got a lot of easy kills that way. Splitgate 2. I don't think I liked it as much as the first one. Because the way it presented itself, it was more like a hero shooter where your characters had different abilities. And you had to work together. Splitgate 1 is... you kind of just left to your own devices in that game. In Splitgate 2, every character had their own abilities, like a hero shooter, that were on cooldowns. I didn't mind it that much, but I think I prefer the blank slates that the original had. Like, you didn't have abilities tied to your character. It was entirely what weapons you found on the field. And that's how I like it. Because it feels like everyone's on the same playing field. But in Splitgate 2, I think people were naturally at an advantage, depending on which character they picked. So that kind of made it kind of unbalanced. There's actually a new iteration of Splitgate that they just released. They unreleased Splitgate 2. And then they made a new version of Splitgate that's inspired by the original, with some aspects of the second one, called Splitgate Arena Reloaded. They removed the hero shooter elements, but they kept the engine change and the weapons from Splitgate 2. So it's like a hybrid. But it leans more towards the original. That's a game I want to check out on the channel later. So keep an eye out for that. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It's a good game. Pretty good game. This is actually one of the ones my family saw. Like, my mom showed it to one of her friends, and she was like, oh, I like when he does the voices for the characters. As for the game itself, it's super polished, it's full of detail. I love the visuals. I don't know, I just have trouble sticking with Mario games. I guess the way the levels progress. Like, it's a good game. It's a great game even, but it's not my favorite. I'm more of a Metroid guy nowadays. I like exploring the maps and not being interrupted every 2 minutes by being sent back to the map screen. I don't know, I guess it's not a bad game, I think it's just my taste shifting. Halo 3 campaign. Okay, so this might be a hot take, or could be the coldest take ever, but Halo 3 is probably my favorite campaign in the whole Halo series. It's not the most in-depth story. It's not the greatest story either. I think that would be a tie between Halo 2 and Halo Reach. But the actual gameplay and the levels in Halo 3 feel the most well thought out. Like, they feel the most fun to play. So that's a major part of why I like Halo 3 campaign so much. Plus, it was the first Halo to have the skulls hidden in the levels, and it actually saved the skulls. So you got to unlock more stuff by playing the campaign. You unlock stuff in the multiplayer. Out of all the Halo campaigns, I find Halo 3 is the easiest one to revisit. So that's why I'm ranking it and loved it above the rest. Sonic Unleashed. This is a game that got pretty popular lately. I'm gonna say pretty good. Or alright. Yeah, alright. It's got high production values. It's got... I mean, the speed stages defined 3D Sonic from this point on. Like, there's a very good reason why this became the blueprint. But it's the rest of the game that kind of brings it down for me. The Warhog combat's okay, but it feels really out of place. And most of the game is taken up by it. And that always bothered me, honestly. Like, if I wanted to play a game like that, I'd play God of War. When I play Sonic, I want to zoom through levels, and that's what the daytime levels do. But ironically, they went a little too fast, so you'd crash into a bunch of stuff that you didn't see. And you had to get collectibles that you have a split second to react to in those levels. So unless you know exactly where they are ahead of time, and you didn't screw up, you'd have to play them over and over again. And there's doors that are locked behind the metals. So you have to replay the Warhog levels and the speed levels and scour the overworld for the medals. Just a lot of pacing issues in Sonic Unleashed. If it was just the daytime levels, the game would be a lot shorter, but I think it would to be better for it because it'd be all killer, no filler. But as it stands, it's alright. My opinion on it improved from how it used to be, because I used to despise the Warhog, but really, the Warhog's not bad, it's just I've played better beat-em-ups, and the beat-em-up gameplay is pretty out of place in a Sonic game. Sonic Frontiers had combat in it too, but I think Frontiers handled it better, because it didn't stop the whole game. You could just run past enemy encounters. And the most felt like they complemented Sonic's speed better than the Warhog's brawler nature. Bloodborne. I hated Bloodborne. I hated it so much. It was one of those games where I wanted to try something different, and I heard good things about it. I was not ready for how difficult... Well, not difficult. How bullshit it would be. I don't like Dark Souls type games. I feel like they're horribly overrated, they're terribly designed. They're designed to be mean to you. Like, they are just designed to hate you. I'm no stranger to challenging games, but the way Souls-like games are designed, they just feel like they don't respect the player at all. And in Bloodborne specifically, every time you die, you get sent back to the start. You have to go through a huge gauntlet of enemies and hazards just to have another shot at the boss that killed you in 2 hits. And I fucking hate that. I can't stand that. I hated Bloodborne. Never again. You'll never see me playing Dark Souls willingly. So, Zelda, Breath of the Wild. These streams got us very good amount of traction, and I enjoyed exploring the worlds and doing things my own way in them. Breath of the Wild is one of the best games ever, for good reason. The amount of freedom it gives you, all the things you could do. This game is jam-packed with things to do. And it was one of the games the Switch launched with, which is amazing. I think it went a long way in establishing the Switch as a powerhouse in games. Not in hardware, mind you. The Switch hardware is actually very weak. But it has Breath of the Wild. This series went on for a while. I think there's like 9 episodes of it, and I didn't even finish the game. Not yet. I remember one time when I was live streaming Breath of the Wild, my sister actually sent me a video of my whole family enjoying and laughing at one of the live streams I was doing for it. And that made me so happy. That's a core memory. The rest of it's not so bad either. When I got the Switch 2 version, it was like a huge upgrade over the Switch 1. The 60 frames per second. And the upped resolution. It felt like a much needed improvement. But for some reason, I just stopped playing it. I guess maybe the live streams were running out of steam. People were less interested, I guess. I don't know. Oh, Ketrel Owl nearly forgot when you make the sword this weekend. You already come up with the name for it. A Majarge sword? Is that it? Mega Man X. Mega Man X is pretty good. It's a tight game. It's a great game. It is pretty well documented how well designed Mega Man X is. It was the shot in the arm that the Mega Man series needed at the time. Very fun to play. Very easy to revisit. I would like to play more Mega Man games on the show. I present myself as a retro channel, so I think I need to play more Mega Man games. So Mega Man X was the first one for the channel. Mega Man X is one of my favorite games. It's a game that I could very easily beat in one sitting whenever I boot it up. Finding all the secrets, maybe not necessarily, but reaching the end credits, definitely. Absolutely. Very easy game to revisit. Yoshi's Island. It's one of the Super Nintendo's most surprisingly advanced games. But personally, it's alright. It's a fun game. It's a surprising graphical showcase for the Super Nintendo. Because the way it looks like a child's drawing, made with crayons, it looks very simple on the surface. But when you go beneath the surface, it's actually really freaking advanced for the hardware. Because it got sprite rotations, it's got 3D, it's got scaling, sprite scaling. It's got bosses that can change the whole dynamic of the stuff you interact with. Like, there's one boss that takes place on a planetoid, and it looks like you're running around the planet as the world spins around you as you run on the moon. There's a frog that eats you, and then the walls of his stomach, they actually bend where Yoshi's standing. I don't think 3D games even do that. Very cool game, but it's not my favorite, personally. Super Metroid. This is going firmly in the pretty good category. It's a fantastic game, one of the best on the Super Nintendo, but the fight against Ridley was grueling. Like, it was so grueling that it kind of dragged the whole experience down for me. But that was so late into the game, and it was only one boss, so it wasn't too bad. I gritted my teeth through it. But I love the sequence breaking, I love the advanced techniques, I love the presentation, the audio design, the way it feels so moody on super limited hardware like the Super Nintendo. The presentation, the Samus, and then the Metroid one was super, and then it sucked Mother Brain dry. It's very cinematic. It's a fantastic game, but I really don't want to fight Ridley again. Metroid Other M. Not the greatest. I don't hate Other M. It's actually pretty graphically advanced for a Wii game. But there's design decisions that I don't agree with that they did in Other M. The way cutscenes can't be skipped, the way they portrayed Samus as like an emotionally dependent, submissive woman that can't really think for herself. I thought that was a huge disservice for the character. Samus is supposed to be stoic, independent, cool, not taking shit from anyone. And she just let Adam push her around. She's not even let to use the Various suit in the volcano world. The gameplay? I feel like the gameplay is more fun to watch than it is to actually play it. Because while Samus is doing a whole bunch of cool acrobatic stuff while she's fighting, in actuality you're just mashing a button. So it gets very monotonous when you're the one playing it. And it's like, why is Samus the one that gets to have all the fun? I want to do this cool shit. And the way you have to fire missiles by pointing the Wii remote at the TV screen, then it goes to first person. It feels very clunky. And it feels very unnecessarily limiting, using the sideways Wii remote for the whole game. I get that they wanted to make it accessible for newcomers, so they wanted the controls to not be intimidating for people. And the sideways Wii remote was the simplest controller the Wii had. But really, the nunchuck's not that much... It's not that much more complicated than the Wii remote. And the gameplay suffered from that decision. And the levels were far more linear. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but in Metroid, part of the fun's getting lost in the maze and figuring out your own way through them. Other M didn't really have that, it just had a ton of cutscenes, and the cutscenes weren't even that good. But it's technically solid. I like that the later games inherited the melee attacks that Samus had in Other M. Like, Samus Returns and Dread. The melee was so fun in those games. And the cutscenes that are more action-packed, those came from Other M as well. But I think they were better realized in the later games than Other M. Oh, Animal Crossing New Horizons. The livestream was pretty good, but when it comes to cozy games for me, I get bored of them real quick. The only reason I stick with Animal Crossing the way I do is because my family plays it, and sometimes they want to play with me. So I indulge them with that. And I have my own island. But it takes ages to customize the island, and it annoys me. It's like a huge time sink for no reason. Well, I could just use Unreal and make my own worlds in like a second. Why does it take so long in Animal Crossing? The vibes are very good in Animal Crossing, though. I listen to the soundtrack sometimes when I'm trying to relax. Yeah, not much else to say about it. Kirby Air Ride! I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Kirby Air Ride is one of my favorite games ever. One of my favorite games on the GameCube. The City Trial, I would play that for hours and hours and hours and hours. We loved Kirby Air Ride in our house. We played it so much. We cherish it. We love it. I wish I still had it. But Kirby Air Riders is a very good successor. So I'll get to that later. Dusk of the second day. 4 days remaining until the creation of Amaharge's sword. Amaharge's sword. I didn't butcher that, did I? Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm gonna say loved it. It's another game I love going up. I don't like it quite as much as the first one, but the second game is amazing in its own right. The first game involved a lot of exploring the Disney worlds. Kingdom Hearts 2 is a lot more combat-centric, so it has one of the deepest combat systems I've seen in any action RPG. It kind of set the standard for them, actually. Low-key. The different forms, the different magic, the different attacks. You can string any possible string of combos together and it'll work in Kingdom Hearts 2. But it came at a cost. The story of the Disney worlds and the exploration really took a hit. So it kind of feels like the Disney stuff is kind of a formality from Kingdom Hearts 2 onward. They felt like they actually mattered in the first one, but in the second one it feels more like they were losing interest in incorporating the Disney stuff. So it feels more like a generic JRPG. I mean, there's still some, but it just felt less special in that regard. But the gameplay more than makes up for it. The combat. And in Final Mix, you can play in critical mode, and if the original on the PS2 was maybe too easy to devolve into just mashing the X button and triangle sometimes. But critical mode is nothing like that. It encourages you to engage with all the systems that it has, and the game really shines for it. It feels like that was the difficulty level that Kingdom Hearts 2 was designed around from the start. Which is funny, because the Final Mix version is actually a remastered version. So it's not the original game. This is the most widespread version nowadays, but it used to be Japan only. So if you're going to pick up Kingdom Hearts 2, pick up one of the HD remasters. Definitely, definitely. Mario 64. I started playing this. It's one of my comfort games. I just kind of spent the whole livestream gushing about it. How much I liked it. How much it's impacted the games going forward. I was playing it on the 3D All-Stars version. So there's no backwards long jump in it, because it was patched out. But overall, very good. Amajarje? I know in Spanish, like, the J is sometimes pronounced H, like har. So I just want to confirm. I think Mario 64 is either loved it or pretty good. There weren't, like, any memorable jokes and stuff. I'm gonna say pretty good. Mario Kart World. It's alright. When I did the Grand Prix, I guess the novelty of being able to drive to the next course was still there. It was neat seeing all the way the tracks all interconnected at first. But then when I did the multiplayer, it's the routes between the courses got kind of grating. And I got tired of driving in a straight line constantly. And then on top of that, I got tired of all the items and the sandbagging and the whatnot. Yeah, Mario Kart World, I actually don't like Mario Kart all that much. In fact, I really hate it. I think it's one of the most mean-spirited games ever made. Actually, I changed my mind, I'm putting it here. Not the greatest. A RJJ sword, the name is supposed to sound French, inspired after the French language. You can tell by the way it looks. But I can't see the way it looks. I'm just getting a description. A Maharjay sword. Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk's a very good game. I just don't think it's my kind of game. It's one of the first games I got for my Switch 2. And it's cool using the Joy-Con as a mouse, but I kind of vibed with Cyberpunk, but I kind of fell off of it too. I don't know. I guess I just never clicked with it all the way. But it's still a very good game. I could tell they put a lot of time and love into it. It wasn't always that way. It launched in a very disastrous state, I remember that. But CD Projekt Red, the developers that made Cyberpunk, they went back and then they fixed it, and now it's a very highly acclaimed kind of game. That they got it to run on the Switch 2, and that they went with the fully physical cartridge with it on the cartridge. I respect that, so I wanted to support that. So I got it, and then I played it on the Switch 2. I just think the open world type of games where I loot all the stuff, it's hard to keep the inventory organized, and that overwhelms me. And the different dialogue options, like, I'm always afraid that I'm gonna say the wrong thing. And that's gonna lock me into a bad ending or something. I guess that intimidates me from playing Cyberpunk. Strange noises outside. I don't hear anything. Just this sick-ass music. Fast Fusion. Pretty good. I like it. It's made by Shinen Entertainment. They're an indie developer. They work pretty closely with Nintendo, I hear. It's inspired by the games like F-Zero and Wipeout. It's only $15 on the Switch too. Performs great. The game share is a feature that I wish more games had, because it lets people be able to download games on their Switches. And it doesn't have to be the Switch 2. You could download on the Switch 1. But I guess more games don't use the game share because they want to sell more Switch 2s, which is kind of underhandedly scummy. But Fast Fusion does have game share. It has pretty cool tracks. It's got a great sense of speed. I think if I play it on a harder difficulty, I might enjoy it. But I didn't do that on the show because I felt like maybe it wouldn't be that interesting to watch because I played all the levels already. It's a good game, I just wish there was more to it, I guess. Pretty good. And move these to alright. Sonic 1 and 2. Two formative games. I love them. I could, if you give me an hour with Sonic or Sonic 2, I will play them all the way with all the Chaos Emeralds. Well, I did try to get them all in Sonic 1, but I screwed up on the special stages too many times. But in Sonic 2, I got Super Sonic. The games aren't perfect. Sonic 2 was rushed out the door, so there's, like, glitches that they missed. And Super Sonic wasn't playtested properly, because they kind of ran out of time to playtest it. But I can play through them pretty easily. I'm very used to the games. I know them like the back of my hand. So when I played through them, probably made them seem a lot easier than they actually are. I talked about what the levels were about, and some of the development history, I think. Oh, and some stuff to avoid, like that infamous spike pit when you're supersonic, and if you land in it, you're invincible until your rings run out, so you're just stuck down there. Very fun. You thought of a sick game title, Sunbeacon, the Blades of Reptile Chronicles. Yeah, that's a good title. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. I forgot I played this one. It's a great game. Retro Studios made Tropical Freeze. I got it on the Wii U, and then I got it again on the Switch. And then on the Switch 2, I found out that the game loaded a lot faster. So I'm like, oh, I should play this on the show. So I did. I don't think I got very far in it, though. It's another one of those games that boots you back to the map screen whenever you finish a level, and that always subconsciously kills my desire to keep playing. I don't know why. I guess I just like it. I just prefer when it's continuous, like Metroid. Speaking of Metroid, Metroid Fusion. What did I think of Metroid Fusion? It's a great game. It's not my favorite in the series, but I appreciate that they tried something different, but without straying too far from the original format of Super Metroid. Like, it's more linear, more story-focused. But the way it presents itself, it still feels like you're exploring an interconnected map. And there's parts where you're left to your own devices to figure out how to get to the nav points. And the bosses were pretty tough. Like, they're freaking tough. So, I prefer the more open-ended nature of Zero Mission, but you know, Metroid Fusion is a good time. It makes up for it in other areas. I just think maybe other Metroid games are more fun to replay, because they allow you to do more stuff. You can do stuff on your own terms. Sunbeacon Tropical Warfare. Okay, yeah, that's a good title. That's a really good title. Tropical Warfare. Rolls off the tongue. And it makes me think of fruit snacks. Oh, Halo Reach campaign. I'm gonna put this in pretty good. It's a great story. The story is very compelling. The story of Noble Six is very tragic. But without Noble Six, we wouldn't have the original Halo trilogy. Because they're the ones that delivered Cortana to the Pillar of Autumn. Halo Reach's campaign is fun. It has some frustrating parts in it, but overall, it's really good. Definitely a great send-off for the series from Bungie. The multiplayer is good too, but I'll get to that when I get to it. Shadow Labyrinth. It's alright. It's an interesting direction for the Pac-Man series. It kind of distanced itself from Pac-Man, because Pac-Man's usually family-friendly, both Shadow Labyrinth, they wanted to skew to a bit of an older audience. I enjoy the atmosphere and the characters, but I don't know, I feel like parts of it feel kind of cheap. Yeah. It's alright. Not the greatest in the world, but it's a good game. Do I remember the Noble 14 that stayed for the shutdown of Halo online services? I've heard about them. I believe that was Halo 2. They wanted to keep the servers on for as long as they could, after Microsoft turned them off. As long as there was one person in the servers, they would stay on. And so they stuck around for as long as they could. They stayed literally until their Xboxes died on them. They were in there for like several months, I believe. And there was news coverage about them. Halo fans are dedicated, man. I know. They let me into their ranks. I'm in their Discord servers, I talk to them sometimes. That story touched your heart and motivated you? Yeah, it made me want to. When I heard that they started up their own servers, which I'll talk about later when I get to those live streams. Yeah, I wanted in on that, so that's what made me want to get my OG Xbox. So I got the Xbox at a convention booth. I got a copy of Halo 2 for pretty cheap, and then I just started playing with them. They're cool people. Donkey Kong Banananananza. This is gonna be a hot take, but it's decent, but I kind of fell off of it. It's got high production value, it's a good showcase of the Switch 2's capability. I'm really happy to see Donkey Kong back. But I think the game loop of destroying stuff, it was fun at first, but it got a little monotonous after a while. I much prefer the 2D platformers in the Mario Odyssey, where you could capture a bunch of stuff and they all have like different controls, and they can open different doors. And Donkey Kong Country, where you jump around on tricky platforms. Donkey Kong Bonanza involves a lot of terrain destruction, which is fun in its own way, but after a while it just gets a little mind-numbing for me, you know? I mean, Pauline's cute. The way that she interacts with Donkey Kong, like Donkey Kong's like a dad to her. How did she age down? They never explain that, do they? But yeah, I never finished Donkey Kong Bonanza. I kind of lost interest in it. It's a good game. A lot of people love it. I don't know. Destroying all the terrain got kind of old after a while. Oni. So Oni's interesting. Oni's one of the games Bungie made before they did Halo. I got the game on the PlayStation 2. Like, I could see the vision, but on PlayStation 2 it's kind of unwieldy. The presentation and the story and the dialogue's pretty of its time, too. Like, the main character you play is... It's like a female character. Like, she is very happy to remind you that the enemies got beaten by a girl. Like, every 2 minutes, she's like, "You got beaten by a girl!" And I'm like, okay, I get it. You have boobs and a vagina, I get it. Oni was designed for a PC. So, the way the combat works, it's pretty in-depth for a game of its time. But the way it's handled, a lot of it's relying on using the right analog stick. And there's like weird button combos, which probably feel good on the PC, but on the PlayStation 2 was very, very unusual. It was hard to wrap my head around it. The controls were very challenging. But I could see the vision. I could see the vision, but it's not the best game ever made. Starlight Revolver. This is another pretty fine game. So Starlight Revolver, it's an MMORPG that's not an MMORPG. It's more like a traditional roguelike game where you find power-ups between floors. But it's kind of presented as an MMO. And you can interact with other players in the hub world too, and team up with them to take on the roguelike levels. It's a level I thought might be more popular because I watched Iron Mouse and Connor play it at a convention. They were on stage, and it looked so fun. And then I played it, and I mean it was good, but I played better. And then they lowered the price after I bought it, and I mean I'm not gonna take the money away from them, but well. Anyway, on to the next game, Silk Song. Okay, this is probably gonna be the hottest take all night. I fucking hate Silk Song. Fucking hate it. I can't stand it. I'm gonna explain why now. Oh, ad break. Ad break? Okay, subscriber exclusive reasoning for me hating Silk Song. It's a high quality game. They put a lot of love into it, I could tell. The levels are well thought out. The story is pretty compelling. Characters are cute. What kills it for me is that the game is fucking relentless. It fucking hates you. It does not respect your time. If you die to a boss, it sends you to another goddamn zip code. You gotta backtrack all the way back to the boss. Every single fucking time you get killed by one. And you will get killed by them a lot. Because they are fucking impossible. I can't stand it. And the client, it's not an easy route back. You gotta, like... They are tough challenges in their own right, the runbacks to the bosses. And you have to do it so many fucking times. Silk Song is 2D Dark Souls with Metroidvania aspects. Exactly. And I do not like Dark Souls. I hate Dark Souls. I think Dark Souls is the most overrated piece of shit ever made. Ever made. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate everything about it. I hate the design philosophies behind it. I do not like them at all. If there was an option to respawn right at the boss when it kills you, then I would not hate Silk Song nearly as much as I do. But Silk Song is a game I wanted to love, but I ended up fucking hating. Even thinking about it makes me mad. I never want to play it again. I wish I could refund it, actually. I don't even want to look at Hollow Knight. So anyway, up to the next game. Metroid Prime 3. Corruption. I think this one was alright. It's not my favorite in the trilogy, but I could see the vision behind it. They wanted to use the Wii Remote, which is new tech at the time. It's what introduced the Wii pointer controls to the series. You can use the nunchuck to use the grappling hook, and that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that they found more uses for the grappling hook. Like, you could, in addition to swinging across the ceilings, you could also use the grappling hook to yank the shields away from enemies. You could also yank doors open. You could pull switches. I thought that was pretty novel, if a bit gimmicky. The way Samus could pull out doorknobs and then twist them with the Wii Remote. And then that was actually your hand doing that. For the later Metroid Prime 3 live streams, I actually showed my hand cam so I could show myself doing them. My hand actually got off screen quite often, because I had to pull it back pretty far to use the door locks. I guess it got people comfortable with the idea of seeing my real-life appendages on the screen. So yeah, good game. I don't like it quite as much as the first two games, but it's still pretty good. Still a great addition to the series. And it kept off the trilogy about Phazon pretty nicely. Jumpman 2, Invasion of the Mutants. Free for everyone. Watchapox Simulator. Actually, I quite enjoyed this one. This was one of the rare PC streams that I did before I got my new PC. It ran bad, really bad, so I had to dial back the graphics, but once I got it working, I was surprised how in-depth it was. Like, I thought it'd be a mean game, but actually it gets pretty involved. You gotta make, in addition to the pools and maintaining them, you gotta make snack stands, you gotta hire employees. You can expand the park. The layout of the park mattered too, because you could funnel people into different parts of it. And then that was how you had to meet certain goals that the game set for you to be able to expand the park. It's a surprisingly good game. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. The thought of a foot-controlled stream makes you a bit queasy, but you'll still watch it. Thanks, I appreciate it. Don't worry, I wash my feet so they're not dirty. Animaniacs for the Sega Genesis. It's a decent game. Oh, when you see something nasty, it makes you clench your teeth, and it's hard for you to eat certain foods for a few hours. No, don't worry. I take care of my feet. If I'm gonna make people stare at it for like 3 hours, I am gonna take care of my feet before the stream. So they're gonna be presentable. So don't worry about that. So anyway, Animaniacs. It's a platformer. Well, there's two different versions of Animaniacs that they made for the 16-bit consoles. The one for the Sega Genesis, it has you controlling all three of the Warner Brothers and the Warner sister from the cartoon. All of them have different abilities, so you have to use those abilities in tandem to solve puzzles to get to the next part of the levels. I enjoyed playing it, but there was one specific boss that I had a lot of trouble with, and that was kind of a roadblock the whole time. But I managed to beat it off-screen, so I got the password for the level after it. But I just never got around to finishing it. It's a fine game. It's good, it's enjoyable. I just think that train boss was bullshit. And then that's when I stopped playing it. Imagine if I dressed up my feet with suits to make them look even more professional on stream. You might be onto something, Kentrol. But see, the thing is... I can't believe I'm saying this now. I'm barefoot whenever I could get away with it. I mean, there's a reason that I have these shoes specifically. I wanted to make an outfit that I might want to wear in real life. And in real life, I'm barefoot whenever I could get away with it, because I don't like the sensation of my toes being squeezed. So my toes are always out more often than not. If I do get suits for stuff to wear on my feet, I think it'd have to be like stirrup leggings or otherwise open, because if it's socks, I'm gonna want to take them off eventually, because I can't stand the sensation. It's the truth. Pac-Man World 2 Repack. This is another surprise announcement that I went pretty wild for. I really, really enjoyed what they did with it, so I'm putting it in loved it. So I actually got this game on the Switch, which is 30 frames per second instead of the 60 that's on other consoles. I got it because I wanted the physical version, but I hated that they made the Switch 2 version a key card. So in an act of defiance, I got the Switch 1 version. I'm that petty. But it's still a really good game. It feels like what Pac-Man World 2, the original, wanted to be, but like they didn't have the resources or budget to make it into. So Pac-Man World 2 Repack, the remake, it feels like the game realizing its full potential. And it even had more levels than the original, because there's like a whole post-game campaign with harder levels that takes place in, I don't know, the past of Pac World, or like some alternate dimension. I don't know, if you like the original, or if you even just like platforming games from the 2000s, I highly recommend Pac-Man World 2 Repack. You've been walking around home barefoot all the time. Done it for years. I'm the same way. Sonic Adventure. This game is a very cherished game in our household. I'm gonna say pretty good. Sonic Adventure's got rough edges, but it's a very beloved game by me and by my sister and my whole family. I actually modded the game so it's more similar to the Dreamcast version than the DX port. Yeah, I made about halfway through Sonic Adventure before I stopped. I played it on Hazel's birthday because it's her favorite game, but I don't think she saw this livestream or knew that I was doing it in the first place. Maybe I should have told her. Should have told her before I started. But yeah, I'm putting it in pretty good instead of loved it, because I know it's not the best game. It's got rough edges that are pretty hard for most people to ignore. So I wouldn't recommend it so readily. But if you know what you're getting into, it's a good time. Control the Owl's favorite battle was the 4th Great Ninja War, because he got to fight with all the tailed beasts. Sounds like fun. It also sounds dangerous. But if you're here talking about it, you had to have survived. F-Zero GX on steering wheel. I had a really good time doing this one. Fun fact, this is also the first feet camp stream I did. Because I was working the gas pedal with my feet. So F-Zero GX. I have this on the GameCube, but actually I play this on the Switch too. I played the NSO version because it let me use the steering wheel. Now I'm sure the GameCube has its own steering wheel controller, but I need a special adapter for it. Doing it on the Switch too, I could just plug the USB in and then do it from there. It's also a really hard game, so I didn't get very far. And on the GameCube, I got all the way to the master level, but that's as far as I got. I couldn't get very far into the master level. I think I did one cup successfully in first place on master in the original, but F-Zero GX is literally impossible. Like, it is tough as nails. If you could beat F-Zero GX on master, I think you could beat anything. That's how hard it is. Oh, the battle was challenging because the tailed beast got put under Kachi Uchiha's control, and you had to fist fight all of them yourself. Then it was an even fight. Super Castlevania for Super Castlevania for Super. This is firmly alright. I enjoyed it more than Rondo of Blood because it was a bit easier to start with. But the levels were still pretty hard once you got to Dracula's Castle onward. It feels a lot less rigid than the Castlevanias that came before it. But it still had a lot of BS moments in its later levels. And that BS is making me not want to rank it as high. It's still a really good game. You fought the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 tails at the same time. That's a lot of tails. Luigi's Mansion. Pretty good. So this was my Halloween special for 2025. Luigi's Mansion is a short, but very detailed game. You could beat it in a single setting. I played it on the NSO app, on the Switch 2. And actually, I started a whole second live stream where I played through the Hidden Mansion in the PAL version, which is completely different. It has a mirrored layout. The boss ghosts are tougher. It's actually darker in the mansion, so it's not as bright, so it's harder to see stuff. And there's more money, so you can actually get the highest score in the game. Unfortunately, in that second live stream, the app crashed and it deleted all my save progress. So I had to start the Hidden PAL Mansion over. So I only got halfway through it. And I just haven't found time for doing the rest of it. I'm very nervous that the app's gonna crash again. So I've been using save states as a safety measure. Good game. Good livestream too. It was a fine way to spend Halloween. I don't really go out because I don't know. I don't like partying and I don't really eat candy that much. In fact, I'm not a big candy person at all. Oh, you fought all 15 of the tailed beasts, and you were only using Gauntlet Stage 3 power? Would have been a tad easier if you had Sage of 8 Paths. But that was later at the end of the war? I see. Kirby Air Riders. Hey, I'm gonna be playing this tomorrow. I love Kirby Air Riders. It's my favorite game on the Switch 2, easily. I am so happy Sakurai made it. I'm so happy it exists. The first time I livestreamed it, it was the beta test, or the open network test. I played that to death. I played for as long as it would let me. So I played for hours. And the only reason I stopped is because the server closed and they kicked everyone out. And then I got the game for real and I checked out all the modes. And I played them all. City Trial is my favorite mode of all. So I spend the most time in that one. But Air Ride and Top Ride are fun too. I played quite a lot at Air Ride. I was surprised how much I played it. I thought it'd be like a quick glance over it, but I ended up spending a good chunk of that live stream playing Air Ride. And when I'm doing Road Trip, it's like it's like the World of Light in Smash Ultimate, where it seems like it'll be a short jaunt through a bunch of mini games, but then it just keeps going and going and going. And I think I'm only halfway through it. And I've been playing for like 3 hours. Well, I guess it's gonna be 3 more tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. I mean later tonight. Provided I'm not too tired after this tier list. Actually, the Switch 2 is on right now. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Never again. Now, Black Ops 2, I played it on the Wii U, and I played it to death on the Wii U. The community was small, but the online was free, and the people were just people looking to have a good time. It was very rare for people to talk shit on it, like they usually do in Call of Duty, on the Xbox and the PlayStation, and especially PC. Excuse me. There's a lot of different control schemes in the Wii U version of the Black Ops 2, including one that uses the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, which is what I used for this livestream, because it's hilarious. So what turned me off from Black Ops 2 campaign is that, I mean, aside from me not really wanting the subject matter to be on the channel, I felt like maybe it was too heavy and too violent for the channel. I didn't like how rigid it was. Like, you have to go to specific points to talk to specific people and do specific QuickTime events to specific not die and have to start over. I'm definitely more of a freewheeling kind of guy, so I value games with open sandboxes like Halo. And they kind of let you be creative with the things that it gives you. Call of Duty is nothing like that. It's Call of Duty's way or the highway. There was one part where a bunch of, I think they were Cubans. Hard to tell. Like, it looked like some third world country that was super run down, but somehow they had a bottomless supply of rocket launchers and bullets. And they just kept... They were relentless. They just kept firing. And what I had to do was I had to talk to the, Woods and whoever the other guy was. I had to talk to them to advance the plot and be able to finish the level. And it was really hard to reach them because they were in the middle of all of those exploding rockets. And I'm like, no, you should come to me. Why do I have to talk to you there? It's dangerous there. They were right directly in the line of fire, and somehow invincible while I wasn't, and that rubbed me the wrong way. Probably be a funny clip, though. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. It was alright. The gameplay is good. The graphics are gorgeous. I love Samus's suit designs in that. You didn't know Black Ops 2 was on the Wii U? It's actually... Not a lot of people know that, actually. It was one of the launch games for the system. So, about Metroid Prime 4. Great graphics, the gameplay was super smooth, a nice modernization, but it still felt retro. Like, it felt like it was cut from the same cloth as classic shooters. The environments were very pretty, but I think the level designs were too straightforward for a Metroid game. I like when they're labyrinthian and you have to find your way to the next area. The way they handled power-ups was kind of dumb, because if you found them in the world, you had to take them in miles. And so you had to drive across the whole desert to implement them into your suit. And sometimes some of the powers were behind finding the green crystals. And I didn't know I was supposed to take them back to the Altar of Legacy. So I just spent most of the game with the worst suit and the worst beam weapon. So that made a lot of bosses really hard. And then that ending. The ending legit pissed me off. Sylux was a character I was waiting 20 years to find out more about, because he was in Metroid Prime Hunters, but they didn't detail who he was, or why he hated the Federation and Samus so much. Metroid Prime 4 barely explained it at all, and Sylux was, like, sleeping in a healing pod for most of the game, so he wasn't even in the game that much. And I was very annoyed by that. The explanation that I saw about why Sylux hates the Federation is... It's because he wasn't following orders by his commander, and he wanted to take a weapon from the space pirates. But then Samus destroyed the weapon, and then when she offered her help, because all of his men died, he smacked her hand away. So, Sylux's tragic villain backstory is that he's an asshole. That's it. That pissed me off so much. That, like, soured a lot of the game for me. I had to remind myself that I was enjoying the act of actually playing Metroid Prime 4 to remind myself that it's not a bad game. They just mishandled it so much. It had trouble development, and it kind of shows. And I really hope they get their act together better for Metroid Prime 5. I still have faith in Retro Studios. In fact, they probably salvaged what was scrapped from the original build of the game that Nintendo decided wasn't good enough. So they kind of had to stitch it together into something acceptable. I choose to believe that story, so I still have faith in Retro. That the game turned out as good as it did is kind of a miracle, because Duke Nukem Forever is a game that similarly took a long time to make, and people hated it. Like, nobody liked it. The fact that some people like Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, I think that's probably a good sign. But me personally, I think it's the worst of the Prime games so far. It's good in its own right, but that ending pissed me off so much. Battlefield 6. Not the greatest. Now, Battlefield 6 is a good game. It's a great game, even. It was actually one of my better performing live streams this year. A lot of people watched it, and they stuck around for it, so they watched it, really. The thing about Battlefield 6 is that when I played it on my PC, it ran like shit. Like, it was terrible. Like, it was unplayable. The game was not only very slow, there were people glitching in and out of existence. It was hard to hit people that were moving fast, so like, when people were in their parachutes, it was hard to shoot them because the hits didn't register. Whenever I walked up to a corner to hide behind it, I kept sliding past it, because the game probably thought I was still going. So I just slid out into the open, where I was vulnerable. Friendly vehicles I tried to get on, they just kept blipping forward, and I couldn't keep up with them. And whenever I did try to get into them, I actually didn't, and I just phased through them. The game was unplayable and super unoptimized. And I played it on my brand new PC that I paid thousands of dollars for. What the hell? Not cool. Not cool, EA. Not cool. And you have the nerve to try and sell me the Battle Pass after I paid a lot of money for Battlefield 6 in the first place. You greedy motherfuckers. Alright, so Fortnite. The last stretch of 2025. Yeah. Excuse me. I did a lot talking tonight. This might be the most I talked in a live stream, actually. My vocal cords aren't used to this. Fortnite. It's a good game. I like it. Whenever I boot it up, it's a good time. I like doing, like, funny controllers with Fortnite. The first time I played it straight, but later... Those healing potion at me. Oh, thank you, I appreciate it, Kentrol. So Fortnite, I do some challenge setups, like, oh, play with the GameCube controller. Okay, do it with the Nintendo 64 controller. Those are always a good time. I actually got Victory Royale with the GameCube controller once. I was like, okay, I peaked, I'm ending the live stream now. There's no way I'm going to be able to repeat this. I think one of the next Fortnite things I do, it'll either be with the steering wheel or with the arcade stick. I'll probably use my hands for that one. I gotta figure out a good control scheme for it, because it uses 2 sticks, but the arcade stick only has 1. But my toes can reach all the buttons on it. I don't know if I could show my feet, though. It's inappropriate. Alright. So Halo 2 Insignia. This is what I was talking about when I said Halo 2 was revived. Pretty good. Or is it loved it? I mean, there's live streams where I got really frustrated at it. You remember the time you typed your phone password with your feet? Oh, cool. Don't tell anyone what the password is, though. Otherwise, that defeats the point. Actually, I'm gonna go with loved it. There were frustrating parts in Halo 2 Insignia. Like, there were some rounds where I had a really hard time, like, I couldn't get any kills, and I get killed myself constantly. And I'm like, no, this is the worst game ever! Stop it. But I feel like I have more live streams where I play on Insignia and I have a great time, and I love bantering with everyone. I think of that more often than I think of the frustration. And people seem to agree, because whenever I look at my analytics, Halo multiplayer is one of the things people most look up when they're looking at my channel. Got pretty good taste, I have to say. You'll never forget the moment back in the day when you jumped across the living room like a frog in just one jump. Impressive feat of strength. Halo 3 Sunrise. Wait, before I do that, I need to talk about Halo 2 a bit more. So Halo 2 Insignia, That is the reason why I got the OG Xbox. I did not grow up with the OG Xbox. I had the 360, but not the original Xbox. Because my mom at the time, she called the shots for which games we could play, me and my siblings. And she didn't like all the shooters on the Xbox. So she didn't want to get us one. So Halo was a mystery to me for the longest time. Even when I got my Xbox 360, my mom was like, "What do you plan on playing on that?" Little did she know. Little did she know what my Xbox collection would become. Although, to be fair, I wasn't sure myself what it would become either. I got it because I wanted to get... like, the hardware was more powerful than the Wii. So the Xbox 360 was my designated non-Nintendo console. Because Xbox 360 was what everyone had, and cross-platform multiplayer wasn't really a thing yet. And all my friends had 360, and my brother had 360, so that's just what we played. Although, if I could do things differently, I'd probably get the PS3 instead, because I feel like PS3, except for Halo, it has games that align with my interests more. And it had free internet at the time. So yeah, if I could do it over, I'd probably get the PS3. It's a pretty close competition, though. They were both great consoles in their heyday. You jumped and stretched your legs out, and then during the jump, you tucked your calves and feet into your thighs, and it gave you an insane amount of height. It felt so cool when you did that. Oh, that reminds me, I did gymnastics classes a long time ago when I was little. One of the exercises we did was frog jumps, which, while they did look very silly, they did work your legs out quite a bit. Okay, on to Halo 3 Sunrise. Halo 3 Sunrise is... I mean, the idea of Halo 3 Sunrise, the fact that a bunch of dedicated fans brought the servers back online, it's super awesome. But, I'm gonna say alright, just because I like Halo 3 so much. And I'm gonna put Halo Reach Sunrise in alright as well. Because the games themselves are amazing. Some of the best multiplayer shooters ever made. Halo pretty much wrote the book on multiplayer shooting. They are the reason to get the Xbox. And they are the reason to stick with it. The reason I put them in alright is because... I like Insignia a lot better, frankly. The people in the Halo Classic Discord are... how do I put this delicately? I prefer being around them than the Halo 3 people. The Halo 3 people are, they're a bit full of themselves, I have to say. Kind of snobby. But the Halo Reach, I feel like that's a more social game. There's more stuff to do in it. The shooting's not as good as Halo 3. But I feel like literally everything else about Reach and its community makes up for that shortcoming. Even the times when we do custom games, and I'm kind of doing what everyone else wants to do. I don't really like the infection modes, so I'm kind of just gritting my teeth through whenever the others pick a mode like that one, and I'm just waiting for the round to end so I can start playing again. I told them I don't really like those modes, but the Reach people are cool about that, so they consider it. Halo 3 Sunrise, it's... well, the people who play Sunrise and Halo 3, I think they only play Halo 3 exclusively for the last... how long ago was 2007 again? Almost 20 years. So they're like unreal. They're incredible at Halo 3, so I feel like at their best I don't really stand a chance against them. The custom games aren't as good because the Forge is a lot more limited in Halo 3. They can still make pretty good stuff, but there's not as many forged stuff as in Halo Reach. Yeah, I think I just prefer the vibe of Halo Reach more than Halo 3. So I'd have to give the edge to Halo Reach Sunrise, personally. I think it just comes down to the community surrounding them. I don't like the Halo 3 community as much as I like the Halo Classic Hub. Because the Halo Classic Hub feels a lot less mean, let's say. Halo 3 feels a bit elitist to me. But Halo Reach, it feels like the people are a lot more willing to let loose and just have fun. Meanwhile, Halo 3 is a lot more uptight, and they're trying to be the best that there ever was. And that kind of kills my motivation to keep playing with them. Because I'm pretty decent at Halo, but not professional. Not even close. And the people in the Discord chat are, like, they're kind of rude. So I don't really talk there that much. Whenever I play the old Halo games, well, it was Halo Reach, but then I stopped wanting to pay for Game Pass. Whenever I play Halo Classic, it's Halo 2 Insignia. That's my home. That's the one I did the most live streams of, too. And whenever I'm live streaming onto YouTube and Twitch, I actually put a projector onto one of my monitors, showing my point of view of the live stream. There's other people doing the same thing, so it's really cool to see. I like seeing other people do the live streaming. Like, they're all in different games and such. They're having their own rounds, and it's interesting to watch everybody play their rounds. Some people were, like, watching me. And so, some of them were like, wow, did I lose to a VTuber? And I'm like, yeah. Mario Kart 8. I'm gonna put this in pretty good. I like it a lot better than World. But that's mainly because that's the one I played with my sister. I had some community nights where I invited people to come into the live stream and then play with me. And then all of those live streams were Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So for me, it's classic Mario Kart at its best, at its highest production values. And I also let other people join in, so that makes it more fun. People are really good at Mario Kart 8. Like, there's people I can't even keep up with, even with the items. But yeah, I feel like Mario Kart's not something I really play on my own that often. But when I'm playing with others, like my sister, and viewers who come into the live streams in the chat, Mario Kart's my go-to. Because I feel like most people play Mario Kart. You also remember what you call it on walls. If you want early access to Metroid Prime 5, you just imagine it and play it on your carrot phone. Hey, if you can imagine your own Metroid Prime, you should try making it yourself. Like, learn Unreal, and then, I don't know, just try making it. And then if it's good enough, you can replace the characters, and then it could be your game. Mission in Snowdrift Land. Mission in Snowdrift Land is a really good game. Like, I'm surprised by the quality of it. Would I put it as my favorite? I don't know. I had a really good time playing this one. And people seem to love watching it, too. In Mission in Snowdrift Land, it was actually the first game that I used the arcade stick for. I started off playing it with my hands, but then I don't know, I just couldn't help myself. I started using my feet for the controls. And people actually got really impressed by it. Like, legit. I did it because I don't know. I just had the urge to do it. The intrusive thoughts won. So I turned the feet cam on, and then I started playing with the arcade stick like that. And then people came in and they said I was playing better with my feet than they were with their hands. And I'm like, okay, maybe I should do this more often. That was really funny. A first-person Metroidvania shooter called Engine. Oh, cool. Well, keep the details to yourself, because I don't want to accidentally steal your ideas. But be sure to write them down somewhere, Kentrel. Okay, these are the last live streams. Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. Pretty good. This is another game I got from my OG Xbox. It has all of the levels from Super Monkey Balls 1 and 2 on the GameCube. And it has approximately 50 of its own levels that are original to this game. It's a great game. My family has the old GameCube versions of Monkey Ball 1 and 2 at their house, and I let them keep them so they could play them. And so I got Super Monkey Ball Deluxe to replace them, and it's a pretty good replacement. But I can't shake the feeling that the Xbox controller is not as accurate as the GameCube controller. Time has not been kind to it. The control stick gets kind of stuck, and when I have to make fine movements, it just can't do it. I can feel it sliding around, or like not sliding around enough. But then I got a USB adapter for the Xbox, and I think that might solve the problem. I might play it again sometime, using the USB adapter. But as of right now, I haven't done it yet. So, I kinda hit a roadblock in the expert level, because the controller wasn't accurate enough. But now that I got a way around it, then maybe I'll consider replaying it. This was also a vertical livestream, so I don't think it was on Twitch. And if it was, the VOD is long gone. If I play Monkey Ball Deluxe again, it'll be horizontal. So I can do it on both websites. Oh, one idea I had was since then stopped airing was the personal manga series you made called The Adventures of Blue Wolf. You stopped making in 2020? Oh, why'd you stop? Okay. Last but not least. A certain kart racer. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. And this one is pretty good. Oh, you got bored of it? Oh. Yeah, if your heart's not into it, I could see you not wanting to finish it. I'm the same way sometimes. Like, my own game Clip Idol. I gotta finish the art for it, but I'm kinda burnt out on it. So it's kinda hard to force myself to draw stuff for it. Oh, you don't like wolves that much now? Oh, that's unfortunate. Sometimes it just tastes just shift, you know? Oh, you used to love wolves? Hmm. Yeah, it sounds like your taste just shifted. So Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I don't have it. I don't have the full game, but I played the network tests. And I had a really good time. The first one, the items were way too chaotic. But that was the closed beta on the PlayStation 5. But then when they did the open beta later, the items got toned down and rebalanced. There were more levels, there were more characters, there were more card combinations, and I pretty much fell in love with it. And the only reason I don't have Sonic Racing Cross Worlds yet is because I'm waiting for the physical Switch version. I fully intend to get the cartridge for Switch 2. And so when I finally get that, well, I'm hoping people are still playing Cross Worlds by then. But until then, my heart belongs to Kirby Air Riders. And that's my list. This is my tier list of live streams that I did in 2025 and 2024. I'm probably going to save this and then put it on my Discord server so people could see it. Yeah. So that's my tier list for this year. And there's going to be lots more live streams to come. So I'm going to be making a tier list at the end of 2026 as well. I hope you enjoyed watching my tier list. I'll be switching over to Kirby Air Riders. I'll be ending this YouTube livestream and then starting a new one for Kirby. I wonder how far I'm gonna get into the road trip mode. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in, literally a few minutes. Bye.